Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, beautiful people. How are you guys doing today? So this is Francine here with another channeled message / tarot reading for you guys. If you're new, thank you so much for tuning in and for just checking this out to see what this is all about. For those of you that are returning, thank you to my OGs for being here. Thank you for all of my subscribers as well that have been with me throughout all of this information, all of this information, of course, like I said, but just the energy has been so great. Thank you for the love and support, and also just for the constructive criticism of this channel. I always love hearing constructive criticism and feedback, so thank you guys. So I got this new deck and I have this, I don't know, I have a sense. Look at that, guys. We have, let me turn it around, the Hermit in both decks. So there's something about like some spiritual guidance coming through for Louis Tomlinson. So as you guys have already probably noticed, we're going to be talking about Louis Tomlinson and his feelings towards his other bandmates at the time of One Direction existing. What did he feel towards them, and also what did they feel? How was the dynamic between each of the members past? And then we're going to look at the present. How do they feel about each other now? And also kind of a glimpse at the trajectory. Where are they heading? So we're just going to kind of see if we can combine all three. I may go wherever I feel led, so I just want to give you guys that disclaimer. This channel is never going to be two-dimensional, three-dimensional, very simple in the sense of like doing the same format. It may change, it may transition, especially with this energy coming through with the Hermit. It feels like it's just going to be something that's about shedding light on darker aspects of their experience. So you may not have heard, you may hear this from other readers. I don't know what other readers have said about Louis Tomlinson and One Direction, but I just want to let you guys know that whatever comes through, if it confirms it for you from, based off of other readers, great. But if it's new insight, I want you guys to just be prepared for that. So that's just a disclaimer. I have a disclaimer typically in every video. I try to, depending on the energy. But there's something here about an excitement, a very youthful energy, an aura surrounding Louis, because we have that Page of Wands in reverse. This is someone who could be insightful, but a little flighty with their determination. Like they might have multiple things that they're very good at. And I'm hearing aggressive, not the sense of being aggressive towards people, but more so just having a number of things that they're very good at. So I can see already that he has a lot of things with the earth energy coming through as well. A lot of things to bring to the table. That enthusiasm for life is coming through this reading already for Louis. So just as a disclaimer as well, I'm clairaudient, so I'm just going to go with what I hear as well. So if you hear me saying this, I hear that. My spirit team and theirs is helping me and guiding me through this reading. I feel like things are shaking up with this channel, so feel free to follow along if you're interested and if you resonate with my energy, okay? Let's get into it. So let's just get an overall energy and picture of Louis Tomlinson. What was Louis like back in the day? I feel this card. What was Louis like during One Direction? During the height of One Direction. They had just come out and such. Ooh, feeling like 4 cards. Is there anything else, Spirit? Yep. Okay. We'll check that out in a second. Anything else? And one more. Okay. Okay, so bottom of the deck here that we have, before I pick up the card that fell, is Temperance, the energy of balance. This is saying here balance, peace, patience, moderation, and such. So these cards are new. I don't typically use these, anything that has explanations on it. So I'm just going to go off the feeling, and then if I need to, go into the words. The Tower. So this is an energy of a lot of passion between the two of them, a lot of passion for this group. They were so excited, so intrigued by this opportunity and outpouring. It's like when they were brought together, there was this excitement, anticipation of huge change, and that is exactly what happened. We know this as for you guys specifically as fans. I didn't really know One Direction growing up, but I really do admire the energies that I'm getting from them so far. There's so many things to talk about with them, but this is the overall energy, this anticipation. Also a need for balance, because there was a lot of disruption for them with the tower, but there was a lot of love, a lot of joy, a lot of abundance with regards to this group coming up and then creating so many different things together. Now with regards to Louis at the time, let's put this aside. Okay, let's get this card as well. Okay, Chariot. So the 8 cards we have here, where do you want this, Spirit? Let's put it here. So the cards that we have are the 3 of Wands in reverse as a way of describing Louis' energy. They're saying it's like a sense of arrogance, a little bit of arrogance, a little bit of kind of putting the cart before the horse, so to speak, and excitement about the future and what it holds. So there's like a lack of like, I'm hearing accountability at times, like he needed that accountability, but there was still like a strength about him, a determination to go forward, to move forward into something completely new. Now I feel like these cards are coming through a certain way for a reason. They keep falling. So next card we have is the Page of Pentacles. That's the energy of someone who is willing to learn, someone who's willing to study something until they get it right. He was willing to take on this role with a lot of fervor, a lot of, I'm hearing strategy as well, and also just being very open-minded to what comes through. So he was a very open-minded energy, very like happy, abundant, very positive in the group, for sure. There was this energy of optimism, okay? Despite whatever he encountered in his life, there was an energy of being resilient and pushing through. So he was a very sweet, very sunshine type energy around everyone. So far, the only thing that was in reverse was the 3 of Wands, which denotes that he was more so just really happy in the moment, or at least wanted to revel in the moment, wasn't really looking to expand and focus on other things, was focused on the job at hand, working with his teammates and doing a good job. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, all those pentacles with which is Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, prosperity. That was what he really was looking forward to. He was looking to expand, looking for just a sense of nurturing this gift that he had and just doing his very best in this group. We also have a 9 of Cups, fulfillment. So this is just going on and on. His spirit team is just telling me over and over. There's this energy of him being very excited, very young, very abundant in the sense of like being happy with where he was at as well, and studying and getting better and honing in on that. He wasn't trying to look too far ahead of himself. He was trying to really focus in on the here and now. The Chariot tells me though that he was very good at succeeding with his studies, with his abilities to take opportunities to learn from his bandmates as well. Like if they were to tell him something constructive, or other people would tell him something constructive, he would run with that. So there's this desire, this feels like Jupiter and Sagittarius energy, to overcome obstacles and to have a determination about himself. Prosperity, Ace of Pentacles is here. Yeah, huge new beginning for him that he defended at all costs. He stood up and fought for it. So yeah, the energy of Louis at the time was very, very positive, very outgoing. It was just like a sense of enlightenment, like, hey, this is a new experience. I get to be in a group. I get to do this. I get to do something that I enjoy. Let me just make the best out of it. We also have the 4 of Cups in reverse though. So letting go of some regrets, letting go of some things that were really hard in his past. I feel like they're bringing up his past energy. There were some either like malicious people in his past that tried to hinder his progress before he came into One Direction, before he really came into the fold of the group. Yeah, Ace of Swords. So the energy of just having to move past that, have new ideas, finding a way out of the darkness, out of the indecisiveness, or out of the people around him before and after. I feel like there are people surrounding him that really tried to keep him bound and tied up in his mental space, to make him feel restricted, to make him feel like he was in a dilemma. But this was his birthright, basically, is what they're saying. This was meant for him. Wow. So yeah, there's some energies around him where they were bad, some really unfriendly people, or people that were not there for him in his corner. People who were gossiping, people who were pretending to be friends from the past that tried to affect they tried to negatively impact him. Spirit wants us to know about that. Okay, so be aware if you know any people that were not good influences on him, people that were pretending to be his soul tribe, people that were gossiping about him, that were not trying to assist him but trying to hurt him, even through drinking. For some reason that's coming through, like people that were just like saying like, why are you going to go and practice or study, why don't you just spend time with us and drink? There's this energy of people of revelry, like you've already made it to where you need to go, why don't you just get comfortable? And he was like, no, I'm not interested in that. There's just, yeah, there's a strong energy of us needing to know that if we don't already. So his energy was very resilient. Resiliency has always come through for him in his readings. So now that we have that information, let's get into Harry. How did Louis feel in the past at the height of One Direction's fame, at the height of One Direction's notoriety? Wow, that's coming through. Yeah, they want me to just pick the first three. So how did Harry feel? Rather, how did Louis feel about Harry? And then what else, Spirit? Is there anything else? You just want me to do 6. Okay. So how Louis felt towards Harry. We have the Queen of Wands energy at the end or at the bottom of the deck. Queen of Wands. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Temperance. What's interesting is some of these cards are very similar to what we had before for Louis. So it's almost the energy of like being comfortable with someone, being in balance with someone. When I see the King of Pentacles in reverse, though, there was a tendency for these two to kind of get really excited about like using money. So like going out and having a great time, maybe drinking, getting a drink. There's something about like preoccupation with money at times. They did not save money well together, but they really have like a lot of like, that's a lot of positivity. Yeah, a lot of, I'm hearing so many things, excitement towards each other. There was a lot of love there. There was peace there between the two of them. There's this energy also of them being good business partners, because I feel like what I'm feeling is that the Queen of Wands energy is being tapped into your feminine energy, but also being vibrant in your energy, attractive, magnetic. They're both very magnetic energies, and I feel like they resonated with each other a lot. And I feel like they also were very kind, but also well balanced with each other as well. Yeah, I'm just getting the feeling like they were also very defensive of each other, or they stood their ground for each other. They were protective of each other as well. Yeah, really good pals, friends, energy coming through and through, despite anything. Look at that, guys. Beautiful. So I just feel like Spirit's trying to use multiple decks to show you the relationship between these two. So let's see, how did Louis feel about Harry here? They're telling me there's one card for clarification on every card. So let's get into it. We have Judgment reversed. So how Louis felt towards Harry. I feel like they had moments of enjoying each other's company so much that they wouldn't sometimes address certain things right away. So what I'm getting is that they enjoyed so much the companionship of like just getting to spend time with each other, that they may have been hesitant at times to expand on certain things that they knew about each other that they should talk about. So let's get one card for clarity on that. Why is Judgment in reverse here? Some of these are actually flipping over. Something is going on in this reading. There's this energy of like a lot to say, a lot of secrets. I don't know why that came through that way. Yeah, King and Queen of Wands came through. Okay. Why is the Judgment here? Why is Judgment here for Harry? Yeah, the Page of Wands, that energy, that is his energy. Louis' energy towards him was exactly as he is, which means he was comfortable enough to be exactly as he is with him. Just a determination, a playfulness. That's just an energy of playfulness, and I feel like they kind of like got through difficult times with each other. They were kind of like more so focused on, let's move past something, let's not think about it too much. But they needed that. They needed a time to actually like learn a lesson. There's some lessons that they needed to learn karmically between the two of them. I feel like there's another card that needs to come through for them. Spirit team, what was the lesson that Harry and Louis needed to learn? What was that lesson exactly? Can you please help us understand? What was the lesson that Louis and Harry needed? Yeah, feminine principle, guys. So there's something about their feminine energy, about healing some aspect of their feminine energy with each other. I feel like, oh, look at that, guys. Okay, I'm getting a lot of information. We have desperation, energy transmission, and good intentions. They have the best of intentions for each other. I want you guys to know that, but there's something about them not addressing certain aspects of femininity and healing something with their feminine energy together. This could even just be like their choice of partners, or like opening up to their feminine energy of accepting and being nurturing, you know? They kind of maybe tried to like ignore it, drink it away, or kind of not talk about certain emotional aspects. But yeah, look, letting go. So they needed to let go when it came to love, and also being slow and steady with and patient with each other, and also with their relationship. So there's something about Louis or Harry knowing something intrinsically, right? And saying, you're talking about this girl, for instance, like let's say they're having a conversation and they're talking about Harry's relationship back then, whoever he was dating at the time, potentially. This is an example. They're talking about his relationship with this woman, and Louis knows inside he should say something. He should tell him to slow down, let go of like past feelings, regrets, bitterness, resentment, or anything that might come into this current relationship. But he doesn't say it because he wants to be like someone he relies on, or someone that like knows he's in his corner. So sometimes the truth was kind of like not addressed as deeply as it could have been, because they wanted to remain lighthearted and excited and hopeful, and they didn't want to really get into those emotions. So the feminine energy was what wasn't really talked about. Also self-love. So like just, I'm hearing gassing each other up. I feel like they might have gassed each other up, but there wasn't this aspect of them accepting that they might lack some sense of self-love at some times in some periods in their life. Like, there's something here about self-love being like one of the biggest things. And what's interesting is all of this is like 2 out of the 3 cards involve the number 4, stability. So it seems as though they could have talked more about their stability, but they spent more time having fun and being more lighthearted. So they needed to transition into being more serious, okay? I'm gonna charge my phone up my camera really quick before I continue, guys. So if you're liking this video so far, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment on what you like or what resonates so far if you find anything that resonates for you. But yeah, let's keep going. A lot of information here, guys. So for just that one card, that's what we got. How Louis felt towards Harry. We have the 5 of Wands in reverse. Interesting. That's the energy of compromise, end of conflict or struggles, reaching agreements. So there was this energy of antipathy, or like whenever they would have those moments, like I said, of not speaking about certain aspects of the experience or certain truths that they had, they would kind of compromise it so that they would avoid fighting and avoid disagreeing with each other. And they may not have even had time. They felt like they didn't have enough time to really spend with each other, and they didn't want to spend it talking about certain things. Let's keep going. We also have how Louis felt towards Harry is a 10 of Wands in reverse. So that is, wow, resign. It's like this energy of resigning to something. It also says what's interesting is wanting excessive control of other people's lives. I feel as though they wanted to be independent, but that was a really insurmountable weight. I feel like they wanted to remain independent because I'm getting a lot of Wands energy here. I feel like they're both determined energies, and they may have wanted to kind of keep each other independent at the detriment though, because sometimes it's good to have a friend help you and guide you and help kind of take off some of the burdens with the 10 of Wands in reverse. So they just wanted to feel light with each other and free. They didn't want to feel constricted. So Louis didn't want to feel constricted with Harry. We also have the 2 of Wands. That's the energy of fearing change or indecisiveness. So there was like this energy of indecisiveness between these two with regards to like addressing certain topics. Yeah, there's a stagnancy here despite the love that they have for each other. Let's get clarification on the 5 of Wands, 10 of Wands, and the 2 of Wands. Look at all of these Wands. Look, oh my gosh. To clarify, the 5 of Wands in reverse is the 2 of Wands. So the energy of of kind of like trying to look past an offense or look past something, to look on the bright side, to move forward out of the 10 of Wands into the 10 of Cups. So they're basically just kind of summarizing that these 3 cards, to clarify, basically, wow, they wanted to focus in on their competition. They wanted to focus in on keeping their relationship between each other protected in some way and moving out of any unfulfilling energies. So they kind of would move out of those energies quickly just so that they can focus in on the tower that was falling, which was their career path, their trajectory ramping up, things getting a lot more intense for them. So they were focused on that more than anything. We have, yeah, they're just really focused and hasty. This is a hasty energy. This is like a childlike almost energy, very young energy. We're also getting a couple that fell, to clarify. Wow, they really want us to know all of this. So the 9 of Wands came through, the Knight of Cups came through, the 4 of Swords, because all of these fell, I'm going to take them upright. Knight of Wands, 7 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, and the Moon. The Moon, interesting. I feel like it almost should be in reverse. There's something that they didn't talk too much about certain things. I think they kind of held on to some secrets in some ways. What kind of secrets? 10 of Swords. What else? 7 of Cups. Yeah. With regards to like, there were other things pulling at their attention, pulling at their focus. Like, this could be thirst traps for them, like temptations. There were some temptations that kind of made them feel a little bogged down, so they didn't talk about it or delve into it too deeply. They were focused in on remaining in the Knight of Cups energy, which is a positive, loving energy towards each other. They wanted to always come to each other with a cup of love. They wanted to always be at peace with each other. They always wanted to be determined with each other. They wanted to focus in on their initiative and goal in their career. And they were trying to focus in on their career path and focus in on their brotherhood in a sense, instead of focusing in on the lies or deceit or things that they didn't want to delve into because it was too hard to deal with. That's the energy I'm getting here. Wow. Next card we have is the Magician energy. That's the energy of creativity, action, power, manifestation, skill, magic. That's what they were focusing on. It was their skills and on how they work together and how they can create magic together. How they can have the gift of gab as well, is what it says, which is about kind of like just talking the shit, having like a flirty energy, but also like a very like exciting energy with them. And when I say flirty, I want to just kind of reiterate that it's just the energy of like fun banter between two people too. Creative visualization, manifesting your desires. So there's just a lot of beauty with this. And I feel like I need to tell someone, I already talked about some specific things with Louis and Harry, and it was in a reading. So I would recommend going to that reading. I might link it up on the top right. But to clarify, that is the 10 of Cups, guys. They were like family to each other. But they always wanted to kind of look ahead. They weren't looking in within their own court or in their own house for issues. They were kind of like focusing on staying close to each other and moving forward into the unknown. There's something about that, just focusing on work and career, determination. Bottom of the, or not bottom, but the last card here is the 3 of Swords for how Louis felt or how he felt about Harry past tense here. There's so much energy here, it's crazy. Releasing pain, overcoming depression. So he was overcoming, for him, Harry was helpful in helping him release pain. He was trying not to focus too much on the pain, and he felt like the worst was over with Harry. He felt like he could actually like just be a good friend, a companion with this 10 of Cups between them. It was beautiful. I just get that friend, just really sweet energy. Look at that. And I saw the 3 of Wands, or 3 of Pentacles there, which is a friendship card. They just were good friends. Really good friends through and through. 8 of Wands means that they were always communicating with each other. There was this energy of communicating. Even if it wasn't like very deep, like about the topics we mentioned earlier, like letting go, focusing on their feminine energies, they were really like karmically balanced or karmically tied. I feel like long term, they're just really good long-term friends. They were consistent and slow with each other. They were patient with each other. They were not trying to rush each other to get information from each other. Very insightful relationship here. Beautiful. Helps promote balance, seeing things from a new perspective and learning something new. So it was almost like this student type vibe as well. They were like learning from each other, like classmates in a school. So with all of this in mind, let's keep going. Hear those sirens. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. I feel like these cards have so much energy in them. Spirit team, what would you like to say with regards to how did Harry feel towards Louis? I almost feel like that was basically the two of them and how they felt for each other. So let's see if Harry gives us any more insight. 7, 5, 6. Okay. Spirit, what energies, what would you like to tell us with regards to, this is important for us to note, that Queen of Wands keeps staying around. What would you like to tell us about how Harry felt? Wow, Lovers in reverse. How did Harry feel towards Louis? Okay, wow. Almost felt like home in a way. Okay, interesting. That's so interesting. First card, let's get into it, is the Five of Swords in reverse. How Harry felt towards Louis. He felt like he was a peaceful person. He was someone that he can compromise with because there was not any conflict. Typically with the Five of Swords upright, it's about fighting a battle or having to admit defeat in some way. This is the energy of compromise. There was not a need for conflict between the two of them. They had enough communication between each other, a lot of communication where they didn't need to have this conflict, an energy of conflict surrounding them. The Nine of Swords is here though. So there was some stress. Okay, there was some worry with regards to Harry's feelings, and we're going to touch base on that too. 1 second, my baby is up. Let's continue. Please clarify for us the Five of Swords in reverse here. Ooh. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Justice as we had earlier, and the Hermit. There's something here about it coming back, like repeating. So let me just shuffle up really quick. I still feel like the message is the same in that there's this sense of patience between the two of them. Patience in allowing karma and justice to take its place in the relationship, not trying to rush anything, kind of learning as they go. There was this energy between the two of them of learning much between each other, learning more about the industry, having spiritual insights, and trying to avoid confrontation. There was always this lightheartedness about them. Wow. There was a depth to their... Wow, and we have the Five of Swords for the Five of Swords in reverse. So just a lot of insights. It's really interesting to see these two cards together because the inner child does play a major part in our spiritual growth. Huge part. So it's something about like still being childlike and still maintaining that integrity that you have, but also and also receiving spiritual insights. Wow. Okay, so we're getting a lot of the same messages for these two. So the feelings they had were definitely so far are coming off very similar. So I feel as though they had mutual feelings towards each other. It wasn't like one person was like so just happy to be with this person or around this person, the other one didn't like them. It wasn't like that at all. So let's keep going. Next card is the Queen of Swords. More of that swords energy. So that's the air energy. I feel like because what's funny is I believe Harry is an Aquarius, and I feel like this is all air signs and all Aquarius is coming through. So there's something about air energy between the two of them, communication, not having to say too much, not having to say a lot to get through to each other. King of Wands. Typically, Harry would get this energy whenever I would talk about him or do a reading with him. King of Wands energy, and we have the Devil. Okay, so there was some... With the Queen of Swords in reverse, Harry felt... I think sometimes he would share information with Louis, so it's maybe it's maybe like a pleasure, a secret pleasure of his is to tell him about the latest like it could be the latest gossip or just information about what people are saying. I feel like they would laugh about that. That's coming through for some reason. I want to see what that's all about. What is Harry's archetype? We have servant. So yeah, look at that, serving the tea. You see that person serving the tea to that person? He would serve the tea to Louis. He would like tell him some things that have been going afoot, like people talking about certain things. It was kind of to keep them aware as well. So it was kind of like, hey, did you hear about this? This is something we should be aware of, student. What do you think about it, Louis? So there's a humiliation that he would have when talking about these things, but he would hear like stuff around the block or stuff in the industry. He would share that information because I feel like Louis is more of a hermit. He's more of the one that's like to himself a bit more. And he was kind of like interested in looking and viewing past the bullshit with it in reverse. So it's like voyeurism is what this is in reverse. So it's just this desire to know more about a situation. So if there was something that happened to one of their exes, or like for instance someone that was like a competitor, like hearing about this stuff, Harry would be the first person to hear about it, and that's the devil energy. It's kind of like potentially even spreading lies, not on purpose, but like hearing things and not knowing if it's true or not, and then sharing it with Louis. I think they had like a very funny, cute banter with each other, almost like damsel energy coming through, which is like a funny, lighthearted energy. So I hope you guys are understanding that that's where it's coming from. It's not coming from trying to turn someone against another person, or trying to be like, it's not trying to be like a negative person necessarily, but more so just wanting to bring information to Louis. So that's something, a little tidbit of information they wanted to share with you. That being his tendency, sometimes he'll say stuff. But that Queen of Swords energy feels like it's more so about that than anything. Gossip. Okay, someone who says things unapologetically as they feel it. 9 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Swords. It will basically lay down the information and then move forward. The secret information. So 10 of Swords, or 10 of Wands, I should say. Now we're getting into the Wands energy coming through for Harry. He felt a little overburdened by the relationship, but it was not, I don't feel like it was necessarily Louis. I felt like it was the way people perceive them, the illusions. Please clarify why the 10 of Wands is here, Spirit team. Thank you for this information. Yeah, we have the Queen of Cups coming through sideways. So he just had like a protective energy. He felt like he was family. He almost feels like a matriarch in this relationship, Harry. He feels like the person that really cares for the other party and wants to make sure that they're okay. And I almost feel like he was burdened by that. He had a lot of emotion and he felt like he couldn't really share it. We had the Emperor try to come through along with the Ace of Swords. Yeah. So it feels as though Harry was that Queen of Cups energy, and then Louis was that Emperor energy, and they made it work in their family. It was almost like a very sweet, like, home type energy with the Ace of Swords, very true to each other. So that I feel like this burden was basically on how people perceived them and treated them. I also feel like Harry felt like he had to, it's like towards Harry, towards Louis, he felt like he had to be more assertive. I feel like he almost felt territorial over Louis. Please clarify the 5 of Wands for us. Yeah, look at that, guys. The 3 of Cups, classic for someone who has this relationship to this person. I'm just getting the energy that he felt very territorial of Louis. He felt very territorial towards Louis and wanted to protect him, was willing to get into fights, arguments, and such for them, for Louis. I don't know why I said them, but I feel like something about their relationship, having like just a bond with each other that was like, that some people might think is toxic, but it feels like just a bond, a very strong bond here with the 3 of Cups, like soul tribe, like family, home. And then we have that Devil. So he felt like he was either addicted to him, or felt like he was dealing with some dependency. This could be codependency that Harry had towards Louis. He felt like he maybe was very prone to like, wow, 3 of Swords came through. Interesting. Something was very heartbreaking for Louis. Maybe this was some dependency he had. Can you please clarify why the 3 of Swords is here, Spirit? Wow, we got the Lovers, the 4 of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups, and the Ace of Swords, guys. One second. Let me just look into this here. He wanted to hold on to him. He felt like he wanted to clarify all of the illusions people had about him, because when you see the 7 of Cups and the Ace of Swords, you're cutting through all of the illusions. He wanted to protect Louis. He wanted to protect what they had together. They have a very strong bond, guys. I don't know what else to say. With the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck, the 9 of Pentacles, or the 9 of Wands, and the Page of Cups, it was a very childlike love, very flirtatious too, though. Very, very opportunistic. Like they took advantage, or took a hold of the opportunity to talk to each other, to be in each other's presence, and they were very protective of each other. I'm just getting that feminine energy coming from Harry specifically, but yet he's also that King of Wands energy. So there's something here about these two. He felt like he was codependent on him. So this came out only for Harry. Harry feels that specifically towards Louis. Wow. Louis felt a little bit more balanced. Okay, just a little bit. But what's interesting is Louis also had these 2 cards come through in reverse. So there's something about them mirroring each other. We have the 5 of Cups in reverse that came out earlier for Louis, right? It's coming through for Harry. Look at this reading. So they're they mirror each other a lot with regards to their relationship. Is there anything that you'd like to say, Spirit, in regards to the double energy? Why is the double energy between these two? What element of their experience, Louis and Harry's experience, would result in this double energy? Let's see. So we have, embracing transition, serious, present tense, or present timeline, number 62. There's something here about them embracing transitioning. Natural humility is coming through, so 69, and forgiveness and gratitude. Wow. Wow, they were very important and instrumental in each other's journey. I just want to say that right off the rip. These two are very instrumental. Why? Common ground, true compassion, and shamanic journey. Guys, these two are like balms to each other. BALMS, like balm that you put on a wound. There's something about them transitioning into a healing journey, and having the humility that they have between each other. There is a natural ebb and flow with these two. Sometimes when you meet certain people, they get you defensive, or make you feel defensive, or make you feel, a certain energy where you have to defend yourself. These two felt a natural humility with each other. They felt like, here I am. I'm this person kind of wandering in this world, and I want to understand life, and I want to understand my meaning and purpose, and there's something really deep about that. Like between the two of them, they were able to forgive and also to express gratitude with each other. So there's something about them healing each other. I feel like Harry had some toxic patterns that he addressed with Louis, and I think it was involving like lack of forgiveness towards people that have hurt him. I feel like Louis was a little better at forgiving and expressing gratitude. And I feel like he taught him that. Louis taught Harry how to do that a bit better. But Harry taught Louis how to embrace transitions. Wow, my throat chakra is starting to act up, which is telling me that there's still some unspoken words that need to be said. Can you tell us what that is? Unspoken words. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Something about the work that they do. 4 of Wands in reverse. They feel like wow. I feel like they're working a lot right now. The words that they want to tell each other right now in the present tense is, we're working really hard. We're doing a lot of things that we should be doing. A lot of things that we feel like we should be doing. We're putting our head down and keeping our head down and focusing on our work. But their happiness, the celebration, the reunion needs to happen. So he's basically, both of them, I feel like this is something that both are saying. We need to meet up. We need to reunite. We need to have that time together, because I feel like all we're doing is just working. The Tower. That's about sudden upheavals happening. So I feel as though that would really rock their world, is what I'm hearing, if they could meet and reunite together. There's this energy of imbalance a bit. There's a bit imbalance. Yeah, there's a bit of like feeling stuck in their head, feeling trapped and restricted by what they should perceive to be happiness, which is focusing on their work. But there's some transition coming, some ending coming for both of them in their own respective paths. So that's what Harry would say. What would Louis say? Because I feel as though it's similar, but you never know. What would Louis say presently about Harry? Like in terms of what he would want to say to him. We have two cards. We have the Hermit, which is loneliness, paranoia, isolation, being reclusive. We also have the King of Cups, one who looks out only for themselves. So feeling imbalanced emotionally. He feels unbalanced emotionally. He feels like he's also kind of taking more time to himself. And he feels like he's in a state of illusions. It feels as though Louis is feeling his path right now is so indecisive, and that he really wants to have the company of friends, of close people around him, but he feels like there's so many illusions, so many things he has to do, so many choices to make. I believe as a father that may have something to do with it as well, focusing on your child, focusing on your family, just a number of things. So that's coming through here. So let's keep going. So let's see what archetypes they embodied and currently embody before we move on here. Whew. It's a lot of energy. I have to usually take my time with these readings. I can't just throw them out there, because I feel like there's a lot to say. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. They're missing each other. There's something about feeling like the band is not, like, I was gonna say, One Direction feels like they really want to come together. At least Harry and Louis feel like they want to come together. They feel like I'm hearing the bands come out, or we got the band together again. Something about like feeling as though it's been so long. They're kind of separate. Understandably, Ace of Swords at the bottom. So, okay, I'll take that as a sign to keep going. So let's look. Spirit team. What would you like to say with regards to the archetypes that they embody? What archetypes does Louis embody? He embodies the Queen and Teacher archetypes. What archetypes does Harry embody? Wow, we have the Shapeshifter, and that was sideways. And we have the Child Divine. He usually gets this. Wow, the color schemes are interesting as well. We have red and green for Louis. I feel like they're both really good mentors and also very good students as well, because they're learning throughout time, throughout their lives. You don't just stop being a student. So I feel like they're both really good at humility, like we said earlier. But we have for Louis the Queen archetype, radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. He's very protective as well. Teacher, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom. Very good at speaking out about things, helping with concepts that he understands. We have that mentor between the two of them, so they're very good mentors to each other. It feels like this is what they would do with each other. Like, keep in mind this is an older individual and a child, but like just the energy of being there for each other, being there and helping pass on wisdom and refine a student's character. We also have Angel. Okay, so my camera died there, so I had to come back, but I wanted to mention these two as well. It's kind of like an honorary mention because they both wanted to come through, but it was the visionary and the dilettante energy. Helping those, the angel archetype is about helping those in need with no expectation of return. I felt like they were willing to help each other through thick and thin, regardless of what they had to give each other, It wasn't about that. They had a vision for this future that they were creating with One Direction. So I feel like the visionary is between them for that reason. And then the dilettante delights in the arts without having to be a professional. I feel like they are professionals, but I feel like they had a love for the arts that helped them not think about it so seriously, but where they were able to play and enjoy the music, enjoy their artistry, and not feel like they were tied up in perception or like of trying to remain prim and proper with their music or something like that is coming through. King of Cups energy. Very sweet energy, very passionate, watery energy. So it's about Neptunian energy, creativity is coming through. For Harry, he had 2, child divine, innocence, purity, and redemption. Suggests a special connection with the divine, and we have shapeshifter. He's really good at navigating different experiences. I feel like he has had different experiences on this earth. So I feel like he's an older soul as well. And I see that it says ability to see the potential in everything. He is that Aquarius energy. I feel like they are able to vision, like they're visionaries naturally. So I feel like he was able to see through different things, and nothing really was able to come between Louis and Harry having that bond or having some similarities or having this feeling towards each other of home. There's that coming through. For some reason, I wanted to show you guys this. This is leaving home. I feel like they both learned how to get out of their comfort zone. This was all about getting out of their comfort zone and creating together. And they were excited and anticipating great things. Even if there were negative things that came along the way, they had fun with it. So that is what I have for Harry and for Louis, past tense. We looked into a little bit of how they feel right now, but let's just look at their current energy. How does Louis feel towards... Okay, there's a bunch that came out. Let's get specifics. Some of that can be for the reading and some might not, so I just want to make sure. I'm hearing slice. I don't know. I think of slice of life. I almost feel like they have that slice of life energy with each other. So as far as how Louis feels now, we have the Magician, the Sun, the Temperance, the 2 of Swords in reverse, the 8 of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Wow. This is a beautiful energy. This is telling me that he feels like Harry is a creative. He feels like he is a magician energy. He can create and manifest what he wants to see in life. He's very good at getting, acquiring money, acquiring like talents, acquiring the skill sets that he needs to do well. He feels very positive, fun, free with him with the Sun card. Just a sense of balance, a sense of peace with him, a sense of prosperity. The 2 of Swords in reverse tells me that he feels like there is this like truth to him. He doesn't feel like he's confusing or doubtful about him. He feels very certain about him. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Someone who is also like a hard worker and someone who is true and communicative, and someone who walks in the truth. And this is basically, wow, Aquarius energy, the Star. That's very healing for him. He really admires people who are able to be true to themselves and are able to kind of look at things logically. I think he really appreciates that about him a lot. So I feel like that's coming through as well. Is there anything to clarify this? So I feel like it's very self-explanatory. 9 of Pentacles. He likes his independence, his ability to acquire so much for himself. Louis feels like Harry is so successful. He just feels like he's doing so well. He's proud of him. I just get that energy through and through. We have a 9 of Cups, 2 of Swords that came out earlier in reverse, and we have the High Priestess and the 9 of Wands. He feels like he's resilient. He keeps going despite any fears, doubts, insecurities. He finds like solace in his own truth. That King of Swords came out again, guys. He feels like there is a sense of sadness though within Harry. Maybe there's a sense of like loss in some way, and he recognizes that. It seems as though Harry may have had to step away or kind of seem like he's apathetic to Louis for some reason because of maybe rumors and because of how other people will see them. Now, I've already addressed the rumors and things like that, some of them. So I would recommend you guys check out that reading as well. That is my unbiased response and what my reading entailed about these two. So I feel like they kind of are trying to protect themselves in light of everything. And I feel like that's why that Nine of Swords energy comes up sometimes. Nines are significant. Harry's really close to some completion or some like wish fulfillment. I want you guys to know that. It keeps coming in his reading, and I feel like Louis is aware of that. Wow, wish fulfillment in love, or wish fulfillment. Something about his relationship, Harry's relationship, is significant here. He feels that wish fulfillment's coming for him, and he's really happy for him. Look how many nines we have, guys. We have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Cups. We have the Nine of Swords. And we have the Nine of Wands. That's all nines. Every suit. So yeah, he's really excited for what's to come for him. Okay, so let us continue. Let's look at how does Harry feel currently with regards. Ooh, okay, that one wanted to come out really bad. I heard frozen, don't know why. So Harry's feeling frozen with regards to Louis. What else, Spirit? We have the World. Wow, okay. Everything's being thrown around. There's a lot of energy here, because this is not the norm. Okay. How does Harry feel towards Louis, Spirit? I feel like this card is also significant. Let's get everything here. Okay, wow. So first card we got was the Four of Swords in reverse. That is the energy of someone who is coming out of isolation. He feels like Louis is like starting to come out, or starting to like show his face, or starting to communicate. He feels like he's like really, I feel this sense of excitement that he's coming out, that he's starting to hear about him again. I don't know if there's something special about this year or this month, but there's something about him wanting to communicate, because we have the World here. So there's this sense of feeling like he's a very successful individual. He's transitioning a lot in life. He's going through major transitions constantly. Because when I look at this, I look at the four signs that are surrounding them, and I feel like those are four big or pivotal moments in life. So I feel like he sees Louis as going through big transitions in his life, that he's always moving, that he's never just kind of like stagnant. There's something about that. We also have a Six of Cups in reverse, so he's letting go of the past, leaving home. So he feels like Louis is moving forward steadily. He feels like he's not stuck in the past or focused on the future. But I felt like getting this card, the Seven of Cups, he feels Harry feels a little bit like, for him, in his experience, there's been this sense of illusion with regards to what to do and what path to take in some ways. And I feel like Louis has this certainty of knowing that he's now walking in the present. He's being more present. He's not being focused on the past as much as he used to be. So he recognizes that. He sees Louis as someone who is very like emotionally like fun, and someone who's very like happy, has a lot of gratitude for where he's at. He sees him as this nine, we'll like focus on it, the Nine of Cups. We also see the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. That's the energy though of someone who is looking forward to their increase. Like Louis putting in a lot of work. So there's something about Louis working hard, but then also just kind of focusing on seeing the fruition of things, like seeing long-term gain, or seeing like his legacy kind of unfold. I feel like this has something to do with child rearing. So like seeing Louis' son, specifically with the Page of Swords coming through, raising his son, seeing him grow. There's something about that. Page of Wands, yeah, childlike energy. He's a little bit, he feels like Louis is a little bit impatient, because I feel like he has a lot of like goals that he wants to accomplish with the World here. So I feel like Harry's just recognizing that. He knows that he wants to do a lot of things in life. And we have 4 extra cards that didn't turn over or flip over, but they came out. It's the Ten of Wands, 4 of Wands, the Hermit, and the Strength card. Wow. So 2 major arcana. He feels like he's kind of pushing himself a bit with regards to either marriage or with regards to his community. So he feels Harry feels like Louis is working really hard. He feels like he's overwhelmed a bit and burdened, but he feels like he has the insights necessary to do well and to get things done. And he feels like he's a very strong-willed and determined person, Leo energy. So we're getting Leo energy, Virgo, and we're also getting a lot of fire signs. So He's just really determined, and that's something that Harry is recognizing here right now. Queen of Wands energy. There he is again. His energy is, between the two of them is usually fire, and I see the Two of Cups. Partnerships. Wow. So Spirit's saying something about their partnership here. One second. We have the Page of Wands in reverse. So why is that coming through, Spirit? We have the Five or the Hierophant in reverse for why the Two of Cups and the Page of Wands in reverse is coming out. He feels like they're unconventional a bit. So there's something about these two transcending conventional relationships, because I think of hierarchy when I think of the Hierophant. They're saying that they're very unconventional in their relationship, and they feel also like there are obstacles with that. That's coming through. Missed opportunities is what it says, and releasing fear, unveiling secrets, subsiding anxiety, truth, regaining composure. So they're trying to, like, there's some secrets that might, there's something that's going to come out, because there's this energy of the Moon in reverse that's about seeing things clearly. So one or both is going to be seeing things clearly with regards to the relationship and how unconventional it can be. But it feels as though they're going to be, it's going to be out of their control. How is it out of their control, this information or insight? How is it out of their control? We have the Star. I feel like they're healing each other, and they have been, even distance. When they're distanced from each other, I feel like that Mercury, I don't know when Mercury is in retrograde, but I feel like I'm feeling it right now. There's so much to say, and it's so hard to convey it with you guys. So there's something about their relationship being unconventional and not going against the norm, and something about that being exposed so that people can heal some aspect of their perception of them. There's hope, recognition, inspiration between these two. A lot of love, guys. I just see a lot of soul tribe energy. So there's something about these two where they're showing a new paradigm for people with regards to friendships, and also the feminine energy and within friendships. When it comes to men specifically, it feels like that. We also have the Eight of Wands that came through in reverse. So he feels like he's just really focused. He's really out of control a little bit, even focused on his tasks. He's really not focused on anyone else. So Harry just feels like he's really inundated right now. That Louis is very inundated, very busy, very focused on his objectives right now. And I'm sure he respects that based on the surrounding cards here. It seems as though he really understands. And he knows Louis enough to understand that he's busy and that he has his own life going on, and he has other skills and things he wants to take part in. So let's keep going. Let's look at their trajectory. What is their trajectory, Spirit team? I don't know why, but my Spirit team is saying that the train has reached its station. There's something that they're going to be showing each other. There's something they're learning separate that they're going to be showing each other soon. And I just saw the community card. Spiritual sovereignty, that even if they're separated, they still are sovereign in their own lives. Deep polarity and imbalance and positive polarity. So there's something about them needing to come to terms with some really deep emotions that they have and feel, and also just deep emotions with how life is going, like certain aspects of their experience. And I feel like one of them may come down with something, but I'm not saying that I want it to, obviously, but I feel like that might be a natural progression. If you're not addressing some negative emotions, it tends to come out physically. So there's something here about that, and I want you guys to kind of be prepared if it happens. They want you to be prepared. Typically, my Spirit team will mention stuff way, way, way in advance. Sometimes it's not the case, but most of the time it is. They want to mention that to you. So one of them might seem like they're coming down with something, or they're not doing well. It may just be because they need time to reflect. It could be Louis specifically. He needs more time to himself. I feel like he's really, really busy. Really busy right now. So let's continue. What is their trajectory, Spirit team? Don't like that was coming through. What is their trajectory? What is Louis Tomlinson and Harry Styles' trajectory? We have the King of Wands in reverse, the Two of Wands in reverse, and we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Cups in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse, Page of Cups in reverse, Ten of Cups in reverse. Wow, not all of these are in reverse. We have the Ace of Swords upright. I don't know why. I heard felicitous and I heard voodoo, or hoodoo, I should say. Hoodoo. So I don't know. There's something about destiny here. So with the King of Wands in reverse, that's typically someone who is not focused on helping others. They're not determined to help others. They're focused on self. There's this idea of them focusing on their own career paths, going on their trajectory, focusing on something that is to come with regards to like restricted options. One of them is going to feel, even both of them may feel like they're losing an opportunity in some way. But this is actually to help them. So I feel as though it could be on either side, but I'm feeling Louis, something about maybe wanting to reach some objective or some goal and needing to let go of trying to control everything. He's going to have to learn that. And then moving forward, I feel like these two have the Knight of Cups in reverse, which is unrequited love, illusion, escapism, and lies. Someone with a fragile sense of identity and poor personal boundaries. So there's something about them needing some balance with regards to their relationship going forward. So it's really interesting that we're getting all these reversals here, even though the deck is upright and reversed. So the Queen of Cups is here. That's the energy of fickleness, so feeling a little bit energetically unbalanced. Kind of not self-serving, which is the opposite of what I wanted to say. It's more so giving to others to the detriment. So there's something about either them giving to each other unbalanced, in an unbalanced manner. There's something here about that. I feel as though with all of these cups in reverse, it feels as though it's going to be a fickle energy with them going forward for a bit. Fickle energy is coming through, and then my throat chakra is closing up again. Page of Swords in reverse. Communication is not going to be very deep. It might be a bit brusque or a little bit curt, the conversations between the two of them. And there might be something that tries to come in to try to harm them or try to spread misinformation about them. There feels like someone's going to try to do that because there's going to be some like broken, dysfunctional energy coming through. Emotional imbalances between the two of them. Why is that? We have the Page of Cups. So something's going to address, they're going to either address their pre-One Direction, or not pre-One Direction, their relationship, the relationship between the two of them in the early stages of their group. It feels like someone's going to try to go back to the past and try to hash stuff up again. And that's going to affect their ability to communicate with each other, their ability to focus on the future. They might have to feel like they're going backwards a bit. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Hierophant, taking a stand and taking authority over a situation. So it feels as though there's going to be like this like impatient energy surrounding them. Something's happening in the future that's going to really knock them off kilter a bit, but they're going to regain balance. It's regarding like just perceptions of them in the media, like with regards to their relationship. They might try to spew out some lies or tell people like that they're fighting or that they're not friends anymore, or there's some negativity surrounding them to try to break up the relationship or break up their home, their flow. But I feel like they're gonna quickly squash it, or they're gonna quickly respond and open up and say, no, that's not what's going on. It might be just a temporary thing that breaks their heart or just kind of gets them really feeling hurt because people are now assessing their relationship, but they're gonna move forward and fight this. So I feel like they're just trying to give you a heads up on that energy coming through. This is like coming from a Page of Wands energy. This could be someone in the tarot community even, or someone like that's influential that might say something that's like, wow, like that's really hurtful, or untrue about us, or even like just someone is going to try to spread something with regards to these two and it's not true. So they're going to fight that with clarity by sharing what's going on and that they're in a good place together. And also that they're going to correct this person real quick. Yeah, and they're going to focus in on their family, like their respective partners, their respective family, but also on their relationship together as family. So it feels like they're going to just, at first, they're just going to kind of say what they need to say. But there's something about there being like a halt in their inspiration because they have to deal with this energy. Is there anything else that they should, that people watching this should know? What to expect? What can they expect with Harry and Louis Tomlinson? Just a focus on work. Look at that. And look at that Queen of Cups coming out again. Just focusing on their respective happiness in their work. Also, if not getting stuck in their heads with regards to moving forward into something new. Because I feel like maybe there's going to be something that's fresh and interesting that Harry or Louis will do soon. But I feel like this is in the future, a couple years from now, 2 years. There's something about also them focusing on their relationships and then also making sure that they're keeping up with each other in some way. There's like a playfulness to this energy. Making sure that they also communicate every now and then, because I'm getting that Page of Swords energy, like remaining determined to communicate in some way, to keep it going, even if they're busy. There's just something here about trying to focus on what they know intuitively about each other and not letting anyone else like derail them or have them doubt each other. This is really going to affect them for a little bit though. But that is what I have for you guys with regards to Harry and Louis. If you guys enjoyed that reading, you thought it was helpful and made sense to you, please let me know in the comments below. Please also feel free to like so that people can see this in the algorithm, since I'm not really big on YouTube yet. I feel like there's a lot to share, so feel free to do that, and I hope to see you guys with the next member. So we're going to move on into, I'm feeling Zayn's energy. So let's get into Zayn Malik and Louis Tomlinson here. Please assist me. Spirit team. Oh wow, double at the bottom. And Spirit team of Zayn Malik and Louis Tomlinson. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being here despite all of the technical difficulties that may arise. Thank you so much for the messages that are coming through for this collective, the collective that are meant to see this message. What would you like to say with regards to how Zayn felt during the height of One Direction towards Louis? How did Zayn feel towards Louis? Let's start off with that. Or you know what? How did Louis feel towards Zayn? I feel like that should be the way to go about it for all of these. How did Louis feel about Zayn? Wow, that one's strong. Louis and Zayn. Louis towards Spirit. Wow, so let's just go with that. There's not a lot that's coming through right away, so let's keep going. How does Zayn feel towards Louis? I just heard rejoice. So I don't know if there's just energy of rejoicing between these two people. They love to see each other win. How does Zayn feel towards Louis' spirit? Wow, okay. I feel like this needs to come through in this, and this, and this. Okay. Alright. So to start off, Louis feels towards Zayn the Ace of Wands. This is about someone who's very inspired by someone who feels like they can move towards someone with a new initiative, with a new craft, with a new goal, and they can get it done. He feels like he's a very inspiring person to be around. He also has the Page of Wands upright. The enthusiasm is there. He really loves to just see, he likes Zayn's enthusiasm for life and optimism for life. He really enjoys that. He feels like he's a great competitor. If he ever felt like he needed to like compete with something, he really helps sharpen him. So he feels like he can inspire him a lot. We also have the Lovers in reverse. This is telling me though that he feels like Zayn is a bit either imbalanced within himself or just not as united internally. This gives me more of the feeling of like him going through some patterns that he's noticed, and he feels like he's not as accountable, if that's what it is. He just feels like he's a bit unbalanced in love. Well, let's see what else comes through. We have the Eight of Wands as well. He feels like he's communicative. He's very quick with moving forward. He's a very fast learner is what I'm getting from this energy. He really is good at getting things off the ground and going. So what does Zayn feel though? We have the Two of Swords sideways, which tells me that he feels like he's usually very thoughtful, but he gets really split with deciding on what to do. He feels like Zayn specifically feels like Louis tends to have a lot of pain that he carries or that he's dealing with, that he's healing. So he feels like he's been through a lot of things. The worst is over though. He feels like he's healing a lot all the time, that he has a lot of optimism despite being hurt. He's also the Empress in reverse, so he feels like he has so much more to bloom into. I feel like he's still healing some aspects of himself, and that's why that's coming through. Maybe there's like a lack of opening up to the feminine energy in some way. So there's something about like the disharmony between masculine and feminine energies in Louis that he notices, that Zayn notices, that he wants him to heal. He feels like he's a very peaceful person. Two of Cups as well as here. So that's the Four of Swords, Two of Cups. So he feels like he's a great partner. He's a great ally. He's a great person to be unified with. Very trustworthy. Has harmony with him. Hey everyone, so I am back because I had to take some time away to deal with things at home. So I am going to be having a different viewpoint for the rest of the reading. Just want to tell you guys, this video, this message feels like it's not, there's some pushback from me doing this video. So there's some energies that are kind of telling me like I shouldn't continue this reading, shouldn't continue this end to the One Direction reading with Louis for some reason. I literally uploaded the first half that was corrupted. I had an issue with it left and right, and I am going to be resilient and continue forward past that. But I am going to let you guys know spiritually this is being monitored by something, and there's just this energy of like it not wanting to come through. So I'm just going to tell you guys what I feel. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to keep it real. It was hard getting this reading out to you guys. So when you see it, know that I pushed through with my spirit team and we are here. So just to continue off of what we were talking about, because we had a lot of energy come through for what Louis felt towards Zayn. The Seven of Pentacles is the energy of feeling a sense of feeling impatient about something, a venture, feeling like you should know, you should understand, you should see something produce or come through for you. So here, Zayn is feeling like Louis is a little bit impatient, because I feel like Louis is a really hard worker, okay? It sounds very basic, but I can tell you honestly, he feels like he does a lot of work. He's really busy a lot. So it feels like Zayn is saying, I feel like he's a bit over inundated and I feel like he has a lot of work to do, but he has a lot of love for people. He has a lot of care. He does care for people. He just tends to focus his energy on his investments, and sometimes that can get him in a rut where he feels anxious about those investments. He might feel stuck in a dead end or feeling like he's not seeing the progression. So they're just mentioning that in his side of the reading. Yeah. So let's keep going. Let's look at What would they say to each other? What would Louis, Tomlinson, and Zayn Malik say to each other if they could? I don't know why I heard the word blasphemous, so I don't know. It's the energy of like people when they try to talk, but I feel like there's a resiliency about these two. So we have the Knight of Cups coming through, the Two of Wands. Yeah, seeing how they've made decisions that have led them on two separate paths. But there's almost this energy of wanting to see what that other path is like. So it's like Zayn looking at Louis' path that he's chosen and wondering how it is for him, and then also Louis looking at Zayn's path and seeing that they made two independent choices, but that there's this energy of like, with the Strength in reverse coming through after the Two of Wands. They've had some temptations with regards to the choices that they've made. So there's this energy of like, they were given a choice on whether they would follow through their path in a certain way or manner, and then they decided to do something. It was almost like a split-second decision to do something differently, or to do something that maybe people weren't expecting. So there was a lack of like maybe trust in that decision, a sense of apathy, like feeling like, is this really what I want to do? Is this enough? But I feel like, it's weird to say this, but I almost feel like Louis and Zayn, like their paths, they went opposite to what they thought they would do long term. So when they first started, they kind of had an expectation of how life would go. And I feel like Louis put in a lot of the work. Of course, I feel like the same happened for all the members. There was an energy of like hard work being at play, but there's also this thing where they decided to go in a different direction than they expected, and that made them feel a little apathetic, made them feel a little doubtful, because we have the Strength in reverse, and that's why I'm saying that. Strength in reverse is typically a doubtful energy. There's not as much determination in the decision-making process as you would want. And there was also this Ten of Swords energy, which is a really painful ending. So there were some difficulties that they went through. They went through some trials, but they're happy and they're very grateful for what they went through. It's almost like reflection. So these two are making this reflection. And I'm getting the word virgin, which makes me feel like that this was all a new experience for them. The energy of just seeing their life play out differently than what they expected, being happy with how it happened because they were true to what they felt, and then seeing how they heal, like how they heal respectively. It almost feels separate. This energy doesn't feel as together as I would think or expect. Let's see what else comes through. There was a card that fell down, so it was the Five of Pentacles in reverse. That's usually about feeling like adversity. So there's something about the end of adversity, or feeling like they made it. They got through some difficult energies in the beginning, and collectively these two, their message, present tense, is that they went the right way. They made the right choices. Even when there was doubt and there was like a feeling of, I'm hearing vultures, or feeling like there were people that wanted to prey on these two, they felt like they made the decision that was right for them. Okay. What don't we know about Louis and Zayn? Because I feel like there's some secrets here with everyone. This reading in particular feels like it's not supposed to come out, and I want to see why that is. What information is there? So we have the Sun. What else? We also have the Knight of Wands. Okay. And we have the King of Cups in reverse. Seven of Cups. So there were other, okay. So was it both of them, Spirit, before I say this? Was it both? Or was it both? Can I have a yes or no? No. One of the two, between Louis and Zayn, had a child out. Now, apart from the ones you know, okay, so you know that Zayn has a child, Louis has a child. There was another pregnancy. There were other people involved in this energy. So there was something in the past as far as a pregnancy, because when I look at this, I think of a son and I also think of a child. There's something about this innocence that they had, and there being like a moment where they had to reflect on a decision with regards to a pregnancy with the Knight of Wands. That's classic for like the determination, but also the libido of an individual. So one of the two of them had like a hasty, quick decision that they did. This was like likely a one-night stand of some sort, and they had a child. I wonder if this child is here, or if this is they decided to not carry this child to term with the mother of the child. The King of Cups in reverse tells me that as well. This person, they were not emotionally ready or stable to take on this burden. So there is this energy of that person, either Louis or Zayn, looking out for just themselves, focusing on their future and having to move forward. This could have also been someone that they traveled to. So this wasn't someone nearby. They were focused on their, I'm hearing it's so weird. They're focused on their regrets, but they were focused on focusing with on their successes as well. So there was regret about the decision that was made, but there's a Queen of Wands in reverse energy, which is a destabilized queen. This is about seduction, lies, strictness, disorganization, and this person was very burdensome. So this was with the fire energy. This person had the decision of either going along with this pregnancy or leaving and ending this pregnancy. And the Six of Cups is here. This person could have been, yeah, this was a person from the past with a nostalgia card. We also have the Devil, and we have the Seven of Swords. I can't make that up, guys. It's coming through interesting. So the energies are so intense that it almost feels like I'm tripping over my words, and I almost wonder if Mercury is in retrograde, because I feel like when I say this stuff, someone doesn't want me to say it. Sorry guys, but whoever is trying to prevent this from coming through, it's coming through for a reason. So one of them, either Louis or Zayn, had a pregnancy out of wedlock. It was with someone that was a Queen of Wands in reverse. So this person was not okay. They were very cunning, seductive, not very toxic. This could be a fire sign. So if you know of them being with a fire sign in the past, please link it or comment below. But this person, they had this child. They decided to either end the pregnancy or continue with the pregnancy. And you guys are not aware of this person. Did they carry this child to term, Spirit? They decided to carry this child to term. So they have a child that's living. They don't really, they're in suspense in the sense that the child, they don't really talk to the other party as much. They go through either the legal system or they go through someone else. So there's some intermediary energy here with regards to this person, but they definitely have more than one of the two. One of the two does not just have one child. There's definitely a second coming through. And it's something that they hide, and I don't know if they're ever going to share that or if it's going to come out before they get to share it. Sorry if I just shared that. It's only a sorry because it seems as though karmically it was meant to come out. Okay? I'm not sure how you would feel about being considered a secret, but sometimes there's certain situations that come upon us where you can't be a secret anymore. Okay. This is the year of a lot of truths being revealed, and I almost felt like that was what wasn't supposed to come out. Okay. We have a Seven of Wands and Seven of Pentacles in reverse. That impatient energy coming through once again. That was with Louis specifically. So this might have to do with Louis. It could be Zayn, but I maybe I should ask. Spirit, can you give me specifics as to who it is between the two of them? We have the Three of Swords. No, they don't want to give the specifics. They just want to focus in on what I said to you just now. Okay. Is there anything else that we should know that we don't know with regards to Louis and Zayn? Two of Cups came through again. Is there anything you'd like to tell us with regards to these two? The Three of Swords came out again. Okay. So there was heartbreak between these two. There was some betrayal between these two. Can you please give us any more information on that? There was heartbreak between them, and there was a lack of accountability, a lack of doubt. or there was doubt, self-doubt with regards to what they were taking on. Keep in mind, they were taking on a lot at this time. They were taking a lot of into themselves, a lot of energy from other people. There's this energy of like them taking on accountability, and it was a lot for them. But there's some heartbreak with regards to their relationship, with regards to their unity and partnership. So one of the two hurt the other pretty badly. But I feel like despite this, there's still a positive energy surrounding this reading. Do not forget the positive energy and the positive words that were spoken about these two. Okay? There's like a determined energy about this that they pushed through, but there's also this energy of regret about some decisions that they made in the past and wanting to move forward, constantly trying to move forward. Yeah, focusing on the business, focusing on keeping things good for business is what I'm hearing as well. The Fool in reverse. But they need to move forward. They need to address this in order to move forward energetically. What is it that they're healing, Spirit? Could you help us understand? Because there was some loss associated with this information. There was some like lies that were told. And there was a lot of like emotion between them. So what is this, Spirit? This energy exchange was very intense. So I want to keep going, but it may not be the way that it has been in the past. I just want to let you guys know. Sometimes the former methods are not enough. So I'm just going into a different method here. So we have a change or clean it up. So there was something that one of them had to clean up, a pattern that was not helpful. It could be about drinking. It could be about the depression that they experienced in the past. But there's happy, needing to focus on their happiness. We also have yin and regeneration, starting new, starting fresh. I feel like they needed to be honest with each other. Truth be told, and not for you is here. Why is not for here? Not for you here. We have unfinished symphony. Why is not for you here? Why is not for you here? We have chop wood here with unfinished symphony. Someone wasn't doing the work between the two of them. Like, let's say one of them came to the other with an issue, an affliction of some sort. Could be sex addiction for all I know. And basically they didn't resolve this issue in the sense of like going to the next stage of that and talking to a therapist, getting in contact with the people that are there to help them or can help them. They thought they could go the distance and keep going and moving forward without healing or addressing this topic. So we're going to look into what that healing message was, or what they needed to heal. This is important, guys. This is something that I think the collective needs to know so that they can have this impact on helping them energetically. Like you sending them love, positivity can actually help them through an ordeal. Self-love and creativity came out. So there's some aspect of self-love here. Like one of them having some self-hatred for themselves. And also I'm hearing sirens, hatred, self-hatred. We also have 3 cards that came through. We have creativity, number 39, self-love, and we have joy. Someone was going through a really difficult time emotionally. They were going through a depression, and what we don't know or what you guys are not aware of is how bad that was. Suicidal ideation could have been something that was playing out. Self-harm. There was this energy of them not, after mentioning it to the other, not addressing it completely and moving forward. Unfinished business. The work needs to be done. It's fated for them to do the work. So is there any other healing messages that we need to have or understand with this person that was going through it, between the two of them, between Lily and... Yeah, so something about sacred space. This person not feeling like they had a sacred space to talk to someone, and I feel like this is why it's an unfinished symphony. They didn't find solace in like a therapist or in certain people, professionals, because they felt like it wasn't for them, and that they could handle it on their own, or that they could handle it quietly so that it wouldn't cause like disturbances or wouldn't cause people to worry about them. But it's preventing some new beginning, or preventing like some healing that really needs to happen. So this person, one of the two, needs to move forward and actually take the steps necessary to address this, because I feel like their process could have been with their music, manifestations, for instance, like seeing a better day and manifesting a better day, and then seeing things get better. Or it simply could just be them waiting, like literally saying like it's gonna be better, which is true. The day will get better. But I think this wound is still there and it needs to be addressed. Slow and steady is also turning over. So something about this happening slowly and painfully for this person. So that's important for you guys to know. They're going through some pain, really deep pain. So please send them some love. One of the two, and I would like to ask, is it Zayn specifically, Spirit? Is this Zayn? No, it's not. So it's Louis. Louis going through a really deep, difficult time right now. The card that came through is hardship, guys. So he deals with it on and off and quietly. Please send your love to him. I think he needs it right now, and that's why this reading is coming out at this time. Energetically, there needs to be like an intercession of some sort to address this unfinished business, okay? So this is not just a joke. This is not a joke at all. But I feel like some people don't take this seriously. Your intentions really help and assist people. You have a lot of power, collective. So let's keep going. What are the archetypes that they embody? Whenever I feel like I should stop or not do something, it's usually when I should, so I can keep going despite the energetic shifts, okay? I feel like everything is falling out on purpose, so let's look at them. Let's look at these. So we have the King archetype, the Destroyer, the Samaritan, the Artist, the Messiah, the Teacher, and the Shapeshifter, and I'll bring them up again, don't worry, and the Child Divine. So their relationship was meant to show them triggers, traumas, and most relationships that have soul connections, like I feel like these two have a soul connection, and that's what I think about most of the members, to be honest. Not every person you come across is going to be a soul member or soul tribe member, but they feel like they're meant to address some karma, okay? So there's this releasing what is destructive and preparing for new life here, and also having a benevolent energy about it, about yourself, taking ownership of your pain, taking ownership of your life, and having the authority to make changes that are necessary. Samaritan is looking at others who are suffering or going through difficulties and seeing that you can help them. I feel like that's what they're doing with their music. They're healing on a very deep and emotional level. There's the Messiah energy as well, which is serving humanity with humility. Teacher energy. These two are meant to teach people about something big. I feel as though their purpose and their path is going to take them elsewhere, take them to a place where they can speak to people, either do humanitarian work or work on like speaking out about certain issues, illnesses, mental illnesses, and also of being able to still create with the Artist card, as we would honestly expect from these two as artists. Shapeshifter and Child Divine came through earlier for Harry. I feel like he embodies these two, and so do they. This is the Child Divine, and the ability to be very young at heart, have an innocence, a purity about you, but also be able to kind of shift based on the energy around you. So it's like that chameleon type energy, but this is deeper. This is being able to understand the people, the experiences of other people around you. It's not just about trying to get everyone to like you, not like that. So it's a different type of chameleon. Okay. Okay, that's the best way I can explain that energy coming through. We also have guides, a guide. So they're both guide energies. These two represent the nature of the divine in life and in ourselves. Powerful. What is Louis' athlete? Louis' attributes in the relationship. We have athlete and hermit. He takes on a whole bunch quietly. I don't know why I heard DeSantis, so I don't know if he had specific words to say about DeSantis for some reason. We also have guide coming through for him. He's specifically, especially the guide archetype in this relationship. He is also the king. Look at all these blue. Out of 4 cards, 3 blues. So he's very he's being very encouraged to speak his truth and to speak out about some divine things, like some issues he's experienced, which is about instability. This card came out of nowhere into this deck. He's dealing with some instability in his mental state and he needs help. Artist. So he's getting most of the ones we already got. So Louis is primarily the one that embodies these attributes. He does focus intently on his own personal life. So Virgo energy. What are some light attributes for Zayn? Oh, is that it? Let's see if it comes out later. Alchemist. He's an alchemist. Transformation of base goals into, or base motives into golden wisdom. He's also the rescuer, a very sweet energy, someone who likes to provide strength and comfort and support to people in need. So he acts out of love with no expectation of a reward. He's also a hedonist in the sense that he likes to express his creative energy. His sacral chakra might be really active right now. We also have the Virgin archetype. What's interesting is that people tend to think that hedonists are all like just deviants, but I think what's happening, or degenerates, but what's real, what this is trying to say is basically that he is able to enjoy the pleasures of life and also still maintain some purity and maintain symbolic purity of his heart and spirit. His spirit is not affected. And hedonism can take so many different forms. I almost feel like it's the sense of being able to just sit outside and take in a breath of fresh air and to take in the beauty of what life has to offer you. You shouldn't feel bad about that. So it's like a hedonistic energy, but it's also coupled with grace and also coupled with like an appreciation for it, not a desire to use it and abuse it. Child Eternal is here, which is also the energy of determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit. Very childlike energy. I wonder if he ever would be interested in I think he probably has some negative feelings towards writing, but I almost feel like he'd be really good at writing because he does it in his music when he's writing his lyrics. Liberator, his words have power. He would be really good with manifestations for using his words. Messiah, yeah. He has just a really selfless energy. And he also has a trickster, but it's in reverse. So he tends to take on the people he's around. I think he knows this about himself. When he's around certain people and energies, he tends to go with what is easy or what will help people kind of settle down, in the sense of be comfortable with him. He has a great way of knowing when someone likes him and how to get them to like him. But I think he's getting out of that energy. I think he wants to be more authentic and real with himself. But I think in the past he used to kind of see when people were two-faced, or see when people liked him a certain way, and he would operate in that way naturally because it was what produced the best results. They want you to know that. So that's a little shadow side of him that they want you guys to be aware of. He's a good mediator though. He likes to see both sides. But he also has an intimate, his spirituality is very palatable in this reading. He has a lot of, I'm just feeling like I should continue with his energy. Goddess. So I just get a sense of humor with this, a sense of playfulness with him more than anything. And I get more with Louis, a strength and a determination and just a creativity about him. How benevolent when you go through such challenges and you're still benevolent and kind to people, it's a very hard thing to do, and he does it. I'm just getting that from him. Okay, so let's keep going. This wants to come through. Rescuer. So yeah, I feel with Zayn, I feel like he is the rescuer, and I feel like Louis needs to be rescued in some ways. So there's something about unfinished business with Louis. Louis needs to resolve something. There's something that needs to be exercised. As far as his past and finishing some business, there's something that's coming through, and it's got him stuck energetically, and they want me to tell you that, and I think that's why I'm doing it today. Part of it on the 14th of March 2024, and then now I'm doing this today on the 16th of March. So this was a long time coming. So something about his mother. I don't know if she smothered him, made him feel like a victim or abandoned, but that's coming through. Like him having a very strong sense of self, of the need to hold on to his wealth within and not let anyone take that away from him. I almost feel like he had a slave energy with his mother. Do you guys know about his mother? We have giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own decisions. She tried to make him feel like she had to keep him needy. I feel like she really wanted him to stay like needy, like almost like a pet energy is what I'm getting. And this could be just a mother figure, but it feels like a mother energy, like specifically a mom. This is like, I feel like it's being literal here. What secrets did you like to share about that? That'll be helpful for his highest good, Spirit, as per usual. Everything that's said here is for the highest good. Okay. What information would you like to tell us with regards to Louis that would be helpful? What information is not known or readily available to people? He's letting go of certain energies that were very possessive over him and energies that he was possessive of. There was some malice in his past. This mother could be an air sign, because I'm getting the Page of Swords in reverse and the Three of Cups. He also had friendships that were very karmic, where people were very malicious to him. He's letting go of that. He's letting go of those energies. He's healing. Okay, so good. He's healing. Okay. Slow and steady though. Okay. So my camera's about to die, so let me see if I can plug it in here. Okay, so let's continue. So we had a lot come in for Louis as a segue, or as like an intermission of sorts, because this is his reading primarily. So we need to understand him in order to understand how he connects with others. I'm hearing excess. So there's something about excess in his life. Let's keep going. So yeah, excess in love. So I don't know if he has some addictive patterns with regards to sex, but that's coming through. I have a feeling Louis is the one that had this child out of like a child that you guys are not aware of. It's not the one that you guys are aware of. I want to let you guys know that. My spirit team is urging me to make that clear. It's not the one you know about, or the one that's supposed, which I've done a reading on as if you're a member, I've done a reading on that already. So definitely check it out if you're interested. But yeah, let's keep going. Dense energies in this reading. With regards to Louis and Zayn, future, what is their trajectory? Let's just get into their trajectory here. Wow, that came upside down and turned, so it's the Four of Swords. Peace is on their trajectory. Perseverance. So they're going to be like, I'm visualizing something. I'm seeing all the members like in a line, right? And there's a race before them. They're all lined up, ready to go. As they're running, Louis and Zayn are going to have they're going to have the success that lasts for a long time. They're going to be okay. There's something about their patience and perseverance, and in this relationship between the two of them, they're going to be patient with each other. They're going to be insightful with each other. I think they're going to give each other the much needed space energetically if they ever do come into contact with each other. They're going to have this peace about each other. I feel like they're protective in the sense of standing their ground against people that try to talk shit or say something contrary to what's true. I feel like they're going to continue to stand on what they know of each other, and they're going to continue to be friends. I just feel like there's something about them doing their own soul searching and finding their inner happiness continuously. So that's their trajectory. All the malice and hypocrisy of other people that's done in the dark, they're going to get their karma. The people involved in that, and their tower is going to fall. So they're going to see a lot of people fall that were against them. I'm just telling you guys, heads up. They're going to fall by the wayside, and they're going to see them succeed. So what else would you like to say, Spirit, with regards to this? It says surrender to the divine. Surrender. These people are going to be surrendered to the divine, and karma will happen as the world and universe sees fit. We have new moon in Cancer, new moon in Aries. It's time to take action. You and your loved ones are safe, and the answers you need are coming. They're going to get their answers. Confidence is their key to success. So confidence in moving forward. So that's their energy. Beautiful in the sense of like, there's like a understanding between them that goes deeper. I'm not going to say deeper than any particular person, but it's mostly like a deeper relationship in the sense of the hermit coming through. Deep spiritual insights between these two. Alright, so I will be right back to move on to the next person. I'd like to do Liam, so we're going to look at Liam and Louis in just a second, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, so let's continue on into the next part of this saga, it feels like. This is March 17th, 2024. I feel like, yeah, I had to take a break there to get into each of their energies, and it's taken literally a day for each. So let's move on into Liam and Louis. Louis and Liam, how do they feel? How did they feel in the past? What's going on between these two? I'm going to do it a little differently. So I feel this energy, it always differs with Liam primarily. Let's see. Yeah, I'm getting 2 decks that I don't use for them, or I haven't used in this reading. So, Spirit team, how does Louis feel? Like, as far as the relationship between these two, what's the overall energy in the past? Let's do past, present, and future. Spirit team, thank you so much for being present here. Please help us understand past energies with Liam. Okay, we have 1. Present energies with Liam and Louis. And future. Okay. Wow, they have some things they have to say to each other. Okay, so I'm going to back up because I feel like I'm too close. Okay. Between the two of them, there's some messages that they have to share with each other. Things that they meant to say or needed to say with the mending and messages in a bottle, or message in a bottle. It feels like there's something that had to be said between the two of them. And it couldn't even be 15 years ago. For some reason, 15 is significant here. The number 5 is coming through a lot, which is about like quick movement. It's not about quick movement, but more so transformation, like major transformation. So there's something about them growing a lot from the past. The past was no place like home. It was this energy of, what's interesting about it is that when you're in the height of your celebrity status, you guys are like growing together on stage. People are seeing you in real time growing and making those mistakes. If you did make mistakes, likely you did. And then seeing you grow, it's like there was something about that being like a very interesting. Them creating a safe space for that. No place like home feels like they were learning more about what they want and what they missed about the world around them. They wanted to create safe space. They wanted to create a harbor, safe harbor for themselves, because they felt like it wasn't safe outside of the home. If you notice, the home is kind of like suspended in midair, or there's just one plant there that's holding up this entire house. They felt like they had to hold each other accountable. They had to hold each other. They had to stay together. They felt like they were creating home together. So the thing about this though is that it's pretty precarious. If you look at the house, it's pretty precarious, but it was beautiful because it was their own creation, and it was out of what they could control. Okay. Number 50 is significant, which reduces to 5. So big transformations and trying to build a home in the process. Present energies, though, are the go the distance card. So they're currently going the distance. They're kind of testing their endurance is what I'm hearing, because I kept hearing testing, going beyond the bounds that they had for themselves, and understanding, like, between each other how far they can go with their status, how far they can go with their abilities, like as dilettantes, as people that are very gifted in that way. So I feel like with the overall energy being loyal heart, building blocks, and deep knowing, they both have this deep sense of committing to this project. They are seeing their career path, their trajectory as a project of some sorts, and they're seeing that they have a building block laid, and that they can create something that they want to from that by going the distance, by being brave, and also by cleaning up some things, some cobwebs that they found in the corners, things that they may have not put enough energy into. And I'm hearing judged harshly, like there were some things that they judged about themselves or judged about their path, things they thought they would never do, but they're learning how to clean it up and to see beyond the cobwebs, okay? To see beyond the perceptions of the past. So they're going the distance, and in the future are continuing to mend. Now, I feel as though when I see this card for the present energies, it almost feels like they're going in a parallel line, meaning they're going their own distance in their own time. So there's a separate energy that I felt with the others as well. So it seems as though they're like almost like either parallel lines to each other, because we have number 11, which is two parallel lines. It's something about like them going in step on their own trajectory, on their own path, but they're all going in a similar direction. That's the thing that's really funny about that. Going the distance, I'm seeing these 3 elephants, and I'm seeing that they're different sizes. You could say it's a family. You could say it's just like they're trying to express, like maybe there's one of the 2 that really made it big faster, and there's another that followed shortly after. Something about like I'm hearing one being 2 paces ahead a bit in regards to their notoriety, in regards to how popular they are, but them always going in a similar direction. So peace needs to be there. Peace, and recognizing that the fork in the road that they're experiencing, it feels like one of them might be going on a major death and rebirth with their music. It seems like they need to find that peace and solace in themselves, knowing that they'll take the course that's needed, but that they don't have to go in alignment with everyone else. So there's this energy of just them ending up together in the same path, but not realizing that they are doing it. They're trying to listen to their inner compass. They're trying to listen to home for them, what feels right for them, and it's beckoning towards the same output, same place, similar goals. Okay, they're not going to be similar in their genres. They're not going to be similar in how they express their music, but because they're separate entities, Louis and Liam, but there's something about them still going in the same direction. The number 3 is significant as well. That's also about transformation. So just a lot of transformation for these 2. Yeah, the endurance is what was needed, and they're doing that. They're focusing on their endurance, okay? So, let's keep going. Yeah, there's something about not for you coming out at the bottom of the deck. So they're realizing what they don't want, prospectively, these 2. Their overall energy is healing, recognizing what's not theirs to carry and what's not their burden to carry, because I feel like there may have been some really toxic patterns or people around them that tried to hold on to them, and I feel like they're healing from those toxic patterns. So they're recognizing the people that are not meant for them, or the people that are not meant to last, and there's like this healing energy surrounding these 2 with the mending card coming through. Empress, yeah. This is about women, finding balance. Yeah, Empress came out, as I said earlier, Queen of Swords, and 2 of Pentacles, finding balance. Finding balance with also the feminine energy, finding balance with their abundance, finding also direction with their abundance, and also, like, it feels like finding balance with relationships. I'm just getting 2, it feels like 2 separate people or entities, and then we have the 7 of Cups coming through that got bent. It's like split. So what was interesting is as I got the card, it bent, and it feels like they're saying like the illusions were twofold. There are so many illusions with people. There are so many illusions with women that they were interested in or wanted to engage in. That is what they have in common. Five of Wands tells me there were some differing beliefs and differing foundations. Okay, they had a picture, an idea of what they wanted, but it was usually met with grief. It was usually met with worry. You see that, guys? Before I even saw the cards, the other two I already know. Like, it feels just like the energy of trying to stand your ground, standing on what you want, and realizing and recognizing that love can be a pain, or love can be something that's worrisome. I think that they're healing a lot of things with regards to love. Okay, the number 7 is significant. When I think of 7, I think of the reunion of souls. So that's soulmate energy, meeting karmics, meeting soulmates in all forms. Okay, that's what they have between each other. They're practical, very practical energies, these two. One's a little bit more up in the air in terms of like the dreaminess aspect. Like, there's like a thought-provoking energy. I feel like that's Louis, and I feel like Liam's the more practical and down-to-earth one. Let me see. I feel like they're both very down-to-earth and practical, but there's a little energy, this energy coming through of like a Page of Swords vibe here. Who is that? Okay, the stars. It's a very dreamy energy, and I see why. It's the star energy for one of them. Two of Swords. Okay, so it's Louis. So the healing energy, the healing vibe I'm getting as well. There's some split or something like that Louis holding on to, as I mentioned in the reading prior. It's coming into this one. So I feel like Liam has something to do. I feel as though Liam, there might have been like an intervention that Liam tried to have with Louis, that Zayn tried to have with Louis, because they both had this come up in their reading. Something about indecisiveness, about the healing path and journey, but they're doing it. And I'm hearing like that train again. Usually it's just gone after one time. It's here again. Okay, moving forward, I feel like he moves forward really quickly. Louis is really good at moving forward. He gets his one foot in front of the other and moves, but that doesn't mean he's healed it. We have the Moon, Cancer energy. So he has a prominent Cancer placement that's coming through. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man. Of knowing when to give up on something. I feel like Louis is learning how to give up on something. And I feel like it's about a marriage, or the idea of marriage as well. So it's not only his mental health, but also his idea of marriage and his ideals. He's split sometimes. Sometimes he wants to go slow. Sometimes he wants to go fast with relationships. Because you want to know why I'm saying that? It's because of the Four Wands and the Hierophant. Definitely a marriage, definitely the concept of hierarchy with regards to a relationship, and we have the Judgment card of finally saying it's time to decide if I should go into marriage. So there might be some news about Louis looking into getting married, or considering getting married if he's not already, of transitioning. And he's been really slow and steady about this, very thoughtful and methodical about it, but I feel like he met his soulmate, or he feels like there's someone in his space that was his soulmate. He may be tripped up on someone from the past as well, so he has to deal with that before he's ready to move forward. Some Queen of Swords energy. But he's pretty like fervent on this, on like taking the time necessary with the Knight of Pentacles, which is why I'm saying that, and the Chariot. That slow moving, fast energy of getting out of that energy into the world, into transitioning, okay? So there's something about that coming through. Liam and Louis might have had conversations about marriage and about down the road what they would want back in the past. Kind of dreaming. I feel like that dreamy energy is coming from them just dreaming together, but Louis having some really big dreams. Some really big emotions to address. Okay, so let's keep going. What was the past? How did Louis feel about Liam in the past? I don't know why I chuckled. Let's see why. I heard, what is it, Spirit? I heard inhumane. Let's see. We have the Empress again, guys. We have the Empress twice. How did Louis feel towards... You want me to keep going? 3, okay. So, first 3 cards. How Louis felt about Liam. We have the Empress, 7 of Pentacles. Wow, 3 of Cups. He had a lot of potential with... He saw that Louis had, or Liam had, a lot of potential. The L's are going to get me. He saw that Liam had a lot of potential. but he felt like there was so much potential and yet there was so much overthinking on Liam's part. Liam has a tendency of overthinking, overanalyzing something and beating it like a dead horse, like kind of beating it a little too much, overthinking about the whole process. And he felt like he saw him thriving, like in the sense of like he saw the potential with the Empress. But there's something here about action. I think Louis really wants to see Liam act on his passions more and to go for it, to be quick about it, because there's a lot of abundance or a lot of information and insight that he has. I feel as though he's been patient with him, very patient. The Chariot's here, Cancer energies. So Louis has some specific Cancer placements, or at least one that's very significant here. I feel like he also tried to help Liam through a difficult time with regards to love. I feel as though he was really heartbroken over an endeavor that was really, either an endeavor or a relationship that was really overwhelming. And so he sees the beauty of what Liam has. Like, he has the potential to do so much, but he also sees his potential for love as well, his potential for everything that comes with that. 6 of Cups came through. That's like a nostalgic energy. The Daughter of Earth, or Page of Pentacles, and the Father of Fire. Yeah, he's really good at like being a student of something, of seeing the passion within him for an endeavor, but he needs to just act on it. And there's something about the fire element being necessary. I wonder how many fire placements Liam has. It feels as though he may have some latent abilities with that, like, or latent energies. He's not really operating in his fire energy as much. It could be because he doesn't have a lot of fire, or it could just be he was used to using and operating with his mind, his mental space more. The Tower is here. So he feels like there's going to be some big changes, or at least in the past when they were together, when they were in one direction, he felt like he was going to do a lot of great things. He felt like he was kind of like going through major upheavals. But look at that, guys. We have the Emperor and the Empress. He felt like he was balanced, or at least felt like he was being shaken up a lot by certain elements of his character. I'm hearing elements of Liam's character. He was either really balanced, or he was going through a huge upheaval with regards to how he trusted both his feminine and his masculine energies. When you see the Emperor and the Empress, that's not common in readings to see both for one person. For me, at least. So that tells me he's coming into, like, wow, the Lovers. Okay, this is about also him meeting someone very important on his path. Ace of Air, or the Ace of Swords. The Lovers, the Emperor and the Empress, and the Tower. Interesting. Can you give me an overall energy of how Louis feels about Liam? The Fates. The Fates. This is getting mysterious. What? Okay, clean it up. Whenever I hear clean it up, I always think about clean it up, Kokor, and white chicks for some reason. So I feel like there's like a joy about this them reuniting. So there's this energy of them actually being very like familiar to each other. The Fates is all about like star power. April's significant, guys. So he thinks of Liam highly. He sees him as someone that complements him very well. And this could be like, as far as his career path, being very, very abundant. April is significant for these two. And so is January. This could be the past, or this could be present energies. These 2 months are significant for these two. Look out for something in April. For some reason, maybe that's significant. Younger man. I'm not sure who the younger man is. But he sees him as highly thought of. He has this thing where he, maybe a gripe with Liam, where he feels like he has so much potential. So I almost feel like Louis was there to be his luck, or to be his fortune, or to be someone that helped him in some way. Okay, my baby's up. I'll be right back. Hey guys, so continuing on, we had a lot come through with specifics here. So let's get back on track, because I feel like I was diverted for that reason, to give you guys that information and insight on how Louis sees Liam so far. So let's keep going. I feel this card here. What card is that? We have the Mother of Earth and the Three of Air, the Queen of Swords energy and the Three of Swords. So a lot of swords. There's a lot going on with Louis's mental space when he looks at his members, or his teammates. Nine of Swords, the energy of worry, stress, and of tension. So there's been some really difficult moments where they've had to communicate some things that were very heartbreaking to talk about, maybe disappointments of the past, or there being a need for Liam to be balanced in some way that's coming through. There's something about them working to find balance with each other as well. Feeling like there were some worries and tense situations that they had to deal with. And there's some more here. We have the Four of Earth. That's about possessiveness, but also the energy of protection, trying to keep what's yours. There might have been an essence of them trying to maintain some independence within the group and finding balance. So that's how he felt. He felt like Liam was a very open energy. He wanted to communicate what he felt. He feels like he's the Judgment card. He's someone that likes to communicate his feelings and thoughts. Very determined, very resilient, a little stubborn, and someone who found themselves, I feel like Liam found himself moving out of situations that were not emotionally fulfilling and moving into new relationships. So there's something about the new relationships that Louis noticed about Liam. Two of Fire is the energy of planning your next steps and traveling. So he was a type to kind of venture elsewhere. He would start out really interested in someone, and then there would be some things that they would find, specifically Louis would find that he didn't, or Liam would find. Those two L's are going to get me. Liam would find, and it feels as though he would move on quickly from situations based on the communication that would ensue. So he's primarily focused in on his feeling inclinations. He's very open to love, but there was something about him being mysterious and him also wanting to get to know the person behind the feelings. Why do I feel this way about this person? So Louis is coming in talking about a number of things. His spirit team and how he refers to Liam, how he feels about Liam, involves a lot about their conversation with regards to firmly held and deeply rooted beliefs, but then also love and how they love, what their passions, how they conveyed their passions to each other. So that's what I'm getting so far. I'm feeling this card, the Devil energy. So there were some toxic patterns. They had some toxic moments where they would fight. I'm hearing belittle. It feels as though they're both very intelligent people, mind you, right? I feel as though they think through a lot of things. They're very balanced energies, but I almost feel like there's something about competition with these two. They were moving towards initiatives, and sometimes they would try to outdo each other. This is that energy of competitiveness, but it could have gotten a little too toxic or a little too intense at sometimes. So that's coming through. What else do we, Spirit team, thank you so much for tuning into this reading, helping us here. There's been so many moments where we've had to go into energies and go out, in and out for me. So thank you, Spirit. Ace of Pentacles and Strength. Yeah, they would fight for opportunities as well. I think this was especially during their segue into their solo career. Louis felt like he was very opportunistic, Liam specifically. I feel like they both were in some capacity. We also have the Mother of Fire and the Seven of Cups, the Queen of Wands and the Seven of Cups. Yeah, they felt like they had so many different options to take when it came to their solo careers. So they're talking more about the recent past, not quite as far back as when they were in One Direction, more so when they started getting into their own careers, respectively. Something about them having a lot of illusions and trying to figure out and navigate their path, and them being competitive with each other on that path. They're mending that. The Spirit wants us to know they're mending just a perception they had of each other. They had some apathetic energies, maybe not feeling as strongly close or tied. but feeling like they were kind of like physically bonded in a group together, but not emotionally connected as deeply. But there was a love there, like a fun energy, competitive energy. They both resonated with the sense of practicality between them. They're very practical energies. How did Liam feel in the past with regards to Louis? How did Liam feel towards Louis? Okay, let's get that. 5 of Cups. I heard rotten as I was shuffling. We have a card that wants to come through. It's the second one here, the High Priestess. Okay, this as well, and the Hermit. Wow, Virgo energy. Okay, overall energy is the Fool, the 6 of Swords, and the Mother of Earth, or the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, so the way Liam felt about Louis, he felt a sense of sadness. This sadness came from a place of deep feeling as though Liam felt like he knew certain aspects of the journey, certain aspects of truth, and he felt a sense of loss or a sense of sadness towards Louis. I feel as though with Justice here, the Ace of Swords and the 5 of Swords, he tried to talk about his inner truth with Louis. And this has come out in readings prior, guys. I'm feeling the same energy coming through. His past energies he was kind of like a sort of a missionary type vibe. He would try to come from a place of trying to right the scales of justice, or to speak about his deeply held beliefs. And that's why the High Priestess and the Hermit is here. It's like deep spiritual insights that he had personally. He has a personal connection to divinity in a certain way, and he tried to convey that to him. But there was a sense of sadness or loss because of the defensiveness with the Devil on the bottom and the 7 of Wands. It means that he was feeling like he had the truth to bring to him, but it was met with... And what's funny is the Ace of Swords fell. His truth is not truly figured and carved out yet, but he kind of was a little bit more combative with Louis because of his belief systems, okay? So that Ace of Swords turned over on the floor. So there's something about like there not being like honesty, true honesty and clarity between them, but there was rather an interest in trying to project certain feelings and insecurities, certain like belief systems that worked for them, or they felt was the way, the truth, the life. The Son of Cups is here. We have the Son of Cups and the Devil and the 8 of Cups, and he was like, I'm not interested. He moved out of this energy. I feel like also Liam felt like he was giving and extending like an olive branch to Louis by doing this, but the Devil energy is here. There's some addictive pattern or something that Liam tried to assist Louis with. It could have been a sense of sadness and loss and depression that he tried to address. He tried to tell him to see it in a different way with the Hanged Man, and to move out of an emotionally unfulfilling time with the 8 of Cups. So there's this energy of him saying, hey, I have a solution for you. This is what you need to do to find balance. Act on it with the Mother of Fire. But I feel as though the healing process needed to be on both ends. It needed to be something that was of Louis' volition. It can't be oppressed upon him, okay? So there's something about like Louis needing to know that and figure that out for himself. That is the part of the journey. The Star is here. The Son of Earth, which is the Knight of Pentacles, that slow and steady card, healing slowly and steadily. He was too hasty. Okay, so I want you guys to know that. He was a little too hasty, and Louis did not appreciate that. There's a deep bond between them. I feel like they're very similar to each other. I feel like they mirror each other more than they think. They mirror each other quite a lot. But it's only because one person chose a path that didn't involve religion necessarily, and one did. but they both are very similar in what they've been through as well. Not in every way. I feel like there's something similar about these two. The Empress. It's about their mother. They have some mother wound between the two of them, and I'm hearing consolidated in different ways. Queen of Cups. Some water energy here, and they're the Knight of Wands. They would butt heads. Fire and water, guys. Fire and water. And look at that, guys. The Tower. Mother. Impatience. Patience, trying to wait, but very impatiently waiting for like something to change or transition. They've grown older. They've gotten wiser. They know the truth of what they feel, what they want. And in relationships, I feel like they would always end up getting attracted to or drawn to someone similar to their mother. It would either be just like their mother or very different, because it's either like a healing journey of like being attracted to what you're comfortable with, or being attracted to the opposite of everything that you know. So I feel as though one or the other chose. So for instance, Louis likely chose someone who was very difficult at times. Emotionally, he would end up in relationships with people that were a bit difficult, but as you got to know them, they became more charming. And I feel as though Liam was more so the guy that would leave the girl out of the dark, or leave her out, try to possess or try to assert some dominance over her, because that's what he saw his father do to his mom. Something like that is significant here. I can't pretend like family is not in here. So there's an energy of like the truth about family ties and how generational traumas play a part in these two, their life. That's why we have the Emperor and the Empress. They have a similar experience. They chose different paths or ways of expressing it, but they are both in this energy of learning, mending, and going out on this journey. Okay, so they're kind of karmic a little bit. The energy of karma is coming through. Bottom of the deck for them overall was the Time for a Nap card, why, and a leg up. So they are going to be mending a lot through time apart. They will be mending time separately, but then they're also going to be mending when they take time to rest, primarily. And the Emperor's on the floor. Guys, we had the Emperor and the Empress come out again. So I feel like the masculine and feminine energies are the main focus of this relationship. Okay, so where should I go with this, Spirit? Okay. If you're liking this video so far, please support my channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, because it really helps people see this message. I feel like I really do love and really invite people that are new. I feel like there's a lot to learn on all ends from the people that come in. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your input, for your comments. They mean a lot. They mean a lot. They make things make more sense, because when I'm reading, I don't know the reasons, the information on the back end. So I appreciate those that have shown their love and support and have commented on these readings. We have the Lovers coming through. Why is the Lovers here for these two? They've had an ongoing battle with love, guys. So they're trying to give me an understanding of how they connect. Louis and Liam both connect through their karmic relationships, as we mentioned with their mother. And they also connect through love in other ways, like through relationships, romantic relationships. It's been an ongoing battle, and we have the Two of Pentacles. Like these, I'm shuffling and I'm getting the same energies over and over. So we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. They're both pretty reckless energies with the wrong people. They can get into really overly confident energies. They can get in like more of a daredevil type vibe between the two of them if they don't know how to temper it, or if they don't have someone that's stable around them. So there's this imbalance that they've had to mend, and they're continually mending. I feel like there's something here. I hear Calvary. I don't know why. We have the Moon in reverse, releasing fear, anxiety, seeing things for what they are, seeing love clearly without the mystery, without the air of trying to like make it all like interesting and seductive. Love can be that way, but it's something about like seeing the depths of love and seeing it clearly. They've had unrealistic plans with love, in a sense of like not really seeing how things would go and progress with a partner. They want you guys to know this for some reason, for these two specifically. How they're connected is deeply with their karmic relationships. They have a tendency of finding imbalances when they go out, celebrate, spend time like partying. There's something about the energy of partying affecting their love life. Unemployment, feeling like either severely left out in the dark, or of having some ties to people that affected their relationships, because we have the Two of Cups in reverse. Disharmony, disconnection, and imbalances, and we have the Six of Pentacles. Guys, if you're not getting the imbalances that are coming through, I don't know what to say. They're coming through very strongly for these two. That's really important for you guys to know. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and we also have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. They had opportunities for long-term relationships and partners, but they missed out. And they sometimes worry about those people because it was a very important part of their healing process, but they didn't see it as such when they were with this person at first. A specific person may come to mind for you guys. I don't know what their relationships were like in the past. All I know is that they're coming through as like, there's karmic people that taught them big lessons, but they were the reckless ones primarily in this relationship. So we all have been, I feel like most people can at least have the humility to say like, I was pretty toxic in the past. I feel like everyone learns lessons differently. So I feel like these two learn lessons through being the ones that were reckless and toxic in some capacity. And being human is a huge factor in that. You have to learn lessons the hard way sometimes. A lot of the time. These two want to come through. We have the Empress and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. They met a lot of divine feminines. A lot of divine feminines in their path, and there's something about them acquiring some karma because of hurting their heart, causing heartbreak of some form because of their status in the group. This feels like past energies, okay? So they were just kind of like going with life where it took them. They were learning big lessons. They were students. They were focused on their job, focused on their career path. They weren't focused on love at the time. So they left a lot of people out in the dark, a lot of people out in the cold, and it was not intuitive. It was something like materialistic or prejudiced in some way, not like racially like that. I don't want you guys to think it's like that. It's more so like having a bad like perception of someone from a toxic lens. So you act a certain way with them, you're short with them, you don't communicate with them enough, you kind of like leave them on red. You don't like actually take and process the loss when it happens. You just move on to the next person, the next person, the next person, the next person, until you're just so like hurt and had to learn the same lesson. It seems like they had to learn the same lesson about feminine energy or the Empress multiple times. Liam and Louis, I believe, are divine masculines. That is why. They are meant to learn that lesson and to move out of this energy, but it's up to them. They're meant to make the empowered decision, and I feel like that is why we have mending for their future situation. They are this, guys. I feel like this is coming out twice in two different decks. They're meant to be in union with their counterpart, but there's something about them holding on to women of the past that were divine feminines for someone else, and it being a burden to them, painful to them. It's also that mother wound, okay? Ace of Cups in reverse. So there's just this energy of sadness, unrequited love that's coming through this reading. All right. There's a lot of broken hearts, okay? It's sad to say that. It's not funny at all. It's more so like, you know, like you just can't tell someone contrary to that, I have to be honest. So there's just a lot of like weaknesses with regards to like partying, third party situations coming through here. Okay. So let's keep moving. What is their trajectory? I mean, did I do their current? Let's do their current energies. I feel as though they're trying to tell me to go to this deck for current. Okay. What are Louis' current energies towards the Want me to turn this over? The Lovers. There we go, guys. Another card about the same topic. So this is going to be primarily like a love reading between Liam and Louis. Not between the two of them together, but respectively, I feel. So Louis' feeling towards Liam. Wow. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Three of Wands, the Knight of Cups, the Star, the Ten of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. That's beautiful. The energy between these two, there are 6 cards. 6 is a karmic number, and we have the Lovers coming through, which is the number 6. They have, maybe one of them might have a life path 6, or is dealing with just a bunch of karma. Karma comes in good or bad forms, in a sense. It just goes around, right? It's not supposed to just be inherently good or bad, but it's more so just naturally what comes to you and what you give, what you receive. There's something about divine timing with these two. So Louis feels like they met at the right time. They moved forward together at the right time. I feel like Louis sees this as him as a part. I'm hearing a match set, or a set in the scheme of their journey. So Louis feels specifically like Liam was someone that he could move forward with, travel with, live life with. The Knight of Cups tells me that he does have love for him in some capacity. He has a sweet spot in the sense of like his relevance in his life. We have the Ten of Cups, but we also have a couple of cards that came through, and that's why I'm going through these. Some of these came through in another direction. We have the Devil and the Hierophant. Then we have the Six of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, Judgment, and the Queen of Pentacles, which tells me that hierarchy affected them. Religion played a big part in the negativity between them. I don't think intrinsically he has a problem with Louis or vice versa. I think religion affected how Louis perceived him. He felt a little unsure, and we got the Seven of Cups. He feels a little unsure about him because of that. He's felt defensive, like he's had to stand his ground. The number 7 is indicative of like divine timing, perfection. He feels like he's just fine without religion. He doesn't need that in his life, is what he felt in the current, or feels in the current moment. He feels like he was very communicative on his feelings towards, Liam was very communicative with his feelings towards like religion and towards success and what that looks like, but Liam was not really about it. When you see the Devil and the Hierophant, that's usually about having like some toxic patterns with regards to hierarchy, or having some healing that needs to be done with regards to hierarchy. It could be about the Pope, Catholicism for him, for Louis. It could be about like someone in the church doing something really foul to him back in the day. Let's get into that. Why does Louis seem to have like this wound regarding religion? The Fool. Something about either when he was young, okay, or he feels like it's a careless endeavor. We have the Ace of Swords. Why does Louis have like a negative perception of religion, or a negative perception of that aspect? We have the Ten of Wands. It was too much of a burden. He wanted to move out of it, but why? Ace of Wands. He was hesitant about it. He felt like it was a waste of time. He felt like it didn't allow him to be inspired. It wasn't emotionally fulfilling. It felt like a dead end. It felt like it wouldn't take him anywhere except to his own pain. It was an opportunity for him to see. It feels like he was always wanting more, wanting an abundance. He didn't want to be held away or held at bay from something that he desired. King of Wands in reverse. He wants to be able to look at what he wants for himself and not feel like someone was controlling him or deceiving him or lying about something and trying to prevent him from getting what he wanted. Judgment in reverse. He felt like it was self-seeking in some regards. He felt like it was just a way to like make yourself feel better, but not really truly seeing what life had to offer. He felt like it was a dead end in some regards. King of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles. That's a sense of like it was something to get your money. Look at that. Six of Pentacles is notorious for reciprocation, give and take. He felt like people were giving to the church at what cost. He felt a personal like sorrow or a sense of like he felt like he's taking the time to reflect on his perception of religion, and he knows in his heart that it isn't truly giving as much as he's giving to it. Like he doesn't feel like it gives to him as much as he does. It feels like he might have tried in the past as a child or as a young child when he was growing up, but he felt like it just produced bad luck. It just caused a lot of chaos. Yeah, unwelcome change. He would feel like it was a setback if he were to do it. So if you guys are not getting like a vibe from this, I don't know what to say. It's just negative. I haven't gotten anything that was like, wow, it's so great. It's more so he's experienced a lot of things. He wants more. Gemini energy with the Magician. He wants to actually stand his ground. It says standing up for your beliefs. He has a lot of passion for his firmly held beliefs, and he has the Queen of Wands in reverse. He thinks it's disorganized. He thinks it's not structured enough. And let me just show you what this says for the Queen of Wands here. It says prudish, moralistic persons who try to impose their values on others. If that doesn't tell you how he feels. So yeah, that's the reason why he's not interested specifically. He's not interested in the one that Liam mentioned to him specifically. Whatever it is that his belief systems are, you can feel free to like comment below what you know, but he doesn't like that. That's not what he wants. So he could be open to other things, but that specifically, no. I feel like he's a little closed off to that. The Tower in reverse, he thinks it causes upheavals all the time. It's a disaster. And it takes a lot of time. Independent wealth. He'd rather be independent. He likes his independence. Okay. So let's keep going. Okay. Feel that. Five of Pentacles. He's faced hardships. He's felt left out in the dark by religion in the past. Someone might have left him out in the dark with regards to that. And I almost feel like it's this mother who's a karmic. This water sign, Queen of Wands. I feel like, or Queen of Cups, I feel like she was not true to her word with regards to religion. I think she used to execute or be a Christian or I don't know. She was from some denomination and she did not act as she preached. And he saw that at a young age and he felt left out. He felt like it was confusing. He felt like there was a lot of adversity and struggle in his past, and he felt like that's what he's going to get in his life, more of that. He'd rather be single. He'd rather be independent. Very clear what he's talking about here. So let's keep going. Current energies is mostly about his belief systems. That's where the karmic energy and the toxic energy comes from when it comes to Louis towards Liam. But overall, he really just loves talking to him. He would love to talk to him about other things. He would love to hang out with him, toast with him about other things. But that tends to be the gripe he has. These cards fell over, and I want to show you those. So it's the Three of Swords in reverse, releasing pain, overcoming depression, the Devil in reverse, releasing yourself from bondage, determined to celebrate, to live life to the fullest, to come together with the people that he loves, to move forward. He's more progressive in the energy that he embodies. And I can see why he would resonate with Harry a lot, because Harry is all about Aquarius energy, and I almost feel like that energy of like new, let's move out of something that's repetitive or something that doesn't seem to work. That's his perception. It seems as though he feels like it's all like a game and he's not interested. Okay. How does Liam feel with regards to Louis? How does Liam feel with regards to Louis currently, Spirit Team? Thank you so much for these messages and how clear they are. We have the Queen of Wands and the Nine of Wands. Wow. We have the Death card and the Fool for how Liam feels towards Louis. Remove all of that. We have the King of Swords, the Page of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Five of Cups. One moment, please. He feels like he's hard to pinpoint. He's hard to talk to. He's tried so many times to manifest opportunities, Liam, to talk to him about specific strong things. I'm hearing strongholds that he's had, or strong suits. There's something about that here, and he's tried tirelessly. It's like a dead end. He's like given up. I feel like he just feels like it's over. He feels like it's a headache to try to talk to him about certain things currently. The energy of death, of having to come to a place where he recognizes he can't go any further and trying to push this on him. And that's why we have a Fool. The Fool is a king. The Fool and the King of Swords tells me he's moving forward in his truth. He communicates every now and then about it. Like when they do talk, he tries to reference certain things in his life and kind of hint at it. But he's intuitive about this, and he knows that he's lost. He's lost. In his eyes, he sees Louis as being lost in some capacity. I'm just going to be honest with you. It feels as though he's hoping for that like moment of inspiration or moment of like clarity to come to him, or him to recognize something. But he feels like he's not someone he can really get to or talk to. He feels like he's kind of closed out of the openness into talking about certain strongholds or certain belief systems that he has. That's coming through primarily for him. For these two, that comes through a lot. We have the Hermit, Virgo energy. We also have the Nine of Pentacles, Virgo energy. He's being himself. He's being very like aware of his desires to search and to continue his search elsewhere, and to kind of remain independent. He feels like it's a little bit of a burden energetically to be around Louis for some reason. He feels heartbroken by something he's dealing with, and I feel like this has to do with his experience. Like he has something going on in the background, guys. He has decided that he's on to bigger things. He has a lot to deal with right now in his life, and he's moving into temperance and healing with the Wheel of Fortune and the Star. So that's kind of the energy. It's like distinct. They're not really as close, but Louis has a lot of great energy towards him. I hope Liam knows that. He has a lot of positivity towards Louis. Has a lot of love and positivity towards Liam. It's not personal. Okay, so I'm going to pause here because my camera, or rather I'm going to end after we get into their future, because my camera is about to die. So let's keep going. What is their future energies? What is their trajectory? Let's go with that. We have the Tower and the Six of Wands. Are they going to do something in business together? It feels like that. Ten of Swords. Something has to end before they can be successful together or do something together. For some reason, something about, and I'm seeing the words learners. I don't know if it's about a license or something. Maybe like someone they know is getting a learner's permit or something. But learners, they're going to be learning something new together, or they're going to be successful individually. At the end of the day, success is here. They're going to be getting a lot of money, finding balance with their finances as well. So their trajectory is getting a lot of money. They're going to be like unaware too. Something is going to hit them. Opportunity is going to hit them. It could be a law. It could be related to the legal system as well. And it's gonna come at them really fast. They're not gonna expect it. Something legally related. Maybe something that had been in the works for quite some time is finally gonna be resolved. And it's something that we might not know about. Something they've been holding on to or kind of like waiting for. And I also am hearing distancing themselves from, but it's coming quickly now. But it's gonna be for their benefit. It's gonna provide balance, action. It's gonna provide collaboration of some sort. And it's going to be really, really, really soul. It's going to be good for their soul. It's going to be something deep. So I don't know if this is a collaboration, but it feels like a collaboration for success coming in for them. Wow. So I'm going to pause here, come back, and I will see you guys shortly. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So I actually am welcome back. You guys are just watching this probably through, but this is the next day, guys. This is the 4th day. I feel like it's been 4 or 5 days that I've been working on this reading. This has never happened. This is the longest reading I feel to date. I feel like this is going to go past 3. It's already past 3 hours. It's now like into the 4th. So if you guys are still with me and you guys are following the timestamps, this is going to be towards the end of Zayn's reading. So Louis and Zayn's reading. And so I want to make sure I work on their archetypes, work on what kind of personality traits you guys can resonate with when you see these, like the ones that you know about them and some that you may not know between the two of them. Because we tend to shift based on the people we're around. Sometimes certain people bring out certain aspects of ourselves with, you know, with them, and then with other people it's different. Let's tap into that and see what's going on before we move on to Niall. So I was about to say, let's start with Louis and Niall. We're not even there yet. There was so much insight in this reading, and I feel like it's taken way, way longer because of that. So Spirit team, please assist me. Thank you so much for your time and energy, Spirit team members of all four, because it's felt like a lot of people in here, full house. What would you like to say about Louis' energy with Zayn? It feels like all of the ones that turned over I'm going to take. Okay. We have a lot of purples coming through, a lot of purplish reds colors, red and pink. So I feel like I'm going to keep those that turned over. Okay, so his feelings are the alchemist. This is about someone who can see an opportunity, see a relationship, and see how it forms into its own unique unit. Like an alchemist can take base motives and create something huge, like something really profound, something very valuable. So I feel as though Louis had that energy. He had something to bring, or at least he brought all of himself to the table and found that he could take what he had to offer and mix it, commingle it with others. And specifically with Zayn, he felt like he could make something really great. So that's really a precious energy to feel. I want you guys to feel that too, I hope. We also have child magical. So someone who is very like, had a profound sense of self, their inner child, a comfortability with themselves to the point where they felt like they could do anything. The feeling of being light and weightless. I'm going back because I feel like my head, I need to work on my angle, but feeling like you're weightless, feeling like you can be yourself, and feeling like you can just be free. That's not something you feel with everybody. We also have the energy of the saboteur, who is someone who highlights their fear of self-empowerment. So he had a recognition of a fear with regards to certain aspects of putting himself out there, but he saw the changes that it would bring to his life, and he's aware, and now it's transformed. So this is something that continuously he's addressed with Zayn specifically. And even seeing it in Zayn, how sometimes he can diminish himself or say something about his self-worth or his value, and he notices, Louis will notice and say, hey, that's not true. You're great, you're talented, you're awesome. And then he would recognize when he would do that to himself. So Zayn helped him see that. We also have the trickster, and this one's in reverse. So this is interesting because this came out earlier for Zayn with regards to, why am I saying Zayn? Yeah, it is Zayn. It's totally Liam. So Spirit wants to talk about Zayn again, okay? So we're going to continue on, and I'm going to then transition into Liam. So the trickster energy is coming through for him and Zayn. Wow, they must really like Zayn. Either him, Louis, or my spirit team really likes him and wants to talk about him twice. So he has this energy of like looking past two-faced energies, and that's what I said earlier. He has a tendency of knowing what people want, seeing what their true motives are, and I feel like Louis likes to play. He's aware of that as well and likes to play with the energies. He likes to be aware of people that are in that trickster energy. He also is the detective. If you're naturally someone who likes to see the depths of a person, to see their true intentions, their nature, you're going to be more insightful and see past bullshit, to see past any like, it's like any projections and also any masks. He sees past them. So he felt like he could do that with Zayn. Like they would both see something happening out there, and they would be very well aware of what was going on, and see that there was something more to it, something deeper to it. And they'd also want to look into things. So they might be good researchers in the sense of like looking up stuff, looking into people, for instance, anything like that. So with regards to Liam, how does Louis feel about Liam? How does Louis feel about Liam? We have the hero-heroine archetype, so that's the energy of someone who likes, who feels like this person is empowering. So he feels like Liam likes to kind of look at things, almost like I heard a 12-step program to see things in ways that are easy and digestible. He has this energy about him where Louis sees that Liam likes to break things down for people and likes to see them empowered. So he would be a great personal trainer, a great like coach in some form or fashion, and he sees that about him. We have the pioneer. He sees that he likes to create. He does stuff that's not been done before. He might integrate things people have done, of course, but there's something about him thinking on his feet and coming up with ideas. And I'm almost seeing like, when someone's trying to go on that show Shark Tank and like they have like a patent of some sort that they want to get, or they're looking for or trying to get. They just want to like create something that no one's seen before, or something that's really impactful. And it feels like he has that energy and capability of doing that. He has that pioneer vibe to him. It's interesting because this information is coming out in the form of, this is how I see Liam, not this is how I act with Liam. So it feels as though he's trying to tell us more about Liam's character instead, his spirit team. Okay. We have one down here. Avenger. So I think we're segueing into actually how he operates with him. He likes to be very balanced. Liam and Louis likes to be balanced with him, likes to ride the scales of justice in the sense of being honest and open, being like almost like a mediator type energy, and also seeing when people win or seeing when people succeed, when something goes downhill or something like messed up happens to another. So he tends to be that person that, when you think of like Marvel movies, someone who likes to let's say Liam has like some initiative that he wants to do where he wants to help children in need, or he wants to do this or that. Because he's that pioneer energy and he also is the hero heroine, he will have a group of people with him, and I feel like Louis likes to come to his aid if he needs his help. And he also has a heart for people to where he wants to come beside Liam and help him out. Liam being the person initiating it and Louis coming alongside of him to balance things or to balance the scales. He could have done that in his music as well. So he tends to come in to assist vocally as well when there's moments like that. Where Liam wants to maybe belt out or do something different, Louis would operate in a way where he would assist him in sounding better, sounding complementary, something about those two working together in that way to kind of balance things out. Child Divine is the next one. That is an innocence, purity, and redemptive energy. That suggests like your connection to your inner child. So he feels like he can be like, I feel like at some point, I think Liam might have told Louis that he was like a divine being, or that he is divine, that he is not what he's been through, that he's beyond that. I feel like Louis really does appreciate that about Liam, because he knows that intrinsically, that there is like a purity to his essence, despite whatever difficulties he's experienced in the past. So they're trying to mention that he feels like he can be the child divine archetype himself. His pure and his innocent side can come out more with Liam, and also freeing himself and others of destructive impulses. He feels like, he feels a lot more like spiritual in a sense here with regards to his dynamic with Liam. He feels like he can be that priest energy, spiritually inclined energy, the mediator that we got earlier, that bend that I felt earlier when the Avenger came out. Freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. He feels excited to kind of free people when he can. Louis, he feels like he can be that way and operate that way. So if they have a friend that's a mutual friend between the two of them, if they have any, or people that they care about, there's something about him feeling like Louis can be more freeing in helping people that have certain impulses. I'm hearing impulse control, so victim, helping people not feel victimized by other people and helping people through their songs. So this is mostly musical. These operate mostly in their music, okay? I just want you guys to know that. He feels more comfortable talking about the deep and darker aspects of life through his music, mostly. And it feels like Louis just wants to assist people in that way. And Liam, it feels like he feels free enough to know that he can do that. And he doesn't have to be too playful. This feels more serious than playful. This feels more serious than the other two guys, other three. than Harry and Zayn so far. So the other two. All right, let's move on. How does, yeah, we have prostitute for how Liam feels about Louis. Okay, so there's this energy of surviving, of not letting your spirit be affected by the difficulties in life. I'm finding that there's something about this reading. The reason why it's longer, it feels like I have to take this in little by little, because I almost feel like there's something here. So gambler, prostitute. This is the energy of taking risks, but also recognizing that your intrinsic nature isn't corrupted, doesn't have to be corrupted. And I feel like Liam, he sees that he can go into the industry, he can go into a lot of difficult situations and not be corrupted. He feels like that with Louis. He feels like he can be empowered by his decisions to go into the dark or the darkest places in the industry and still feel like he can still follow his heart. It's like follow his heart, follow his truth, and then somehow navigate through it without being burned, without being hurt. I feel like Liam has been able to kind of evade certain things because of this. We also have servant, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. So there's something about him wanting to serve his teammates and wanting to be there for Louis, wanting to speak the truth to Louis, wanting to see him set free, because we have the slave archetype in reverse. So sometimes he would, when I see it in reverse, that usually is a shadow archetype, and that's coming out for a reason. But I almost feel like this is just meant to be upright. So surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. He felt like he could trust Louis, and he felt like he could trust the ability that he has to make choices for the team in some capacity. I feel like sometimes Louis had to make some choices. We also had lover and seeker. He loves wisdom. So he felt like a thirst for wisdom with regards to Louis. He felt like he had a lot of information. I feel like Louis knows things, like he researches things. He has some something archived. And I feel like he felt like he was a guide. Liam felt like Louis was a guide, and also someone who he has a great appreciation for. I feel like he does appreciate him a lot as a companion. So that is what I have for you guys for both Louis and Liam, and then a little bit about Zayn that I will have to timestamp and figure out. So I'll do that and move on now to Louis and Niall Horan. Let's get into it. So for Louis and Niall Horan, let's look into the overall energy between them. Let's look into their past energies now, actually. Spirit team, please tap me into Louis and Niall Horan. Please assist me in understanding what's going on there. What would you like to tell me there? Okay. Let's start. That's coming through, but let me just shuffle a little bit more. Spirit team, please assist me in understanding the overall. What was the energy between Louis and Niall in the past? What was the energy between them? Let's do an overall energy between the two of them. Okay, I'm getting a specific deck that wants to come through. 1 second. So I feel like they want me to use the Tarot of the Divine. So let's do that today, okay? For just these two. Alright. Okay, you want me to use that? Don't know what that is. Spirit team, what would you like to say about Louis and Niall? That overall energies for the past. It feels as though they want me to do energies in general. What's a constant between them? Okay, let's see. So we have the Justice card, the King of Swords, and the Page of Wands. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Sun, the Three of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. Wow. I heard the word riveting. These two are riveting in the energy of truth. Truth is something that is underlying this entire reading with them. They operate in truth. They operate in fairness, in equity, just in regards to how they treat each other. They're very balanced. together. Page of Wands came out a lot for Louis throughout his readings with all of his members. So this is some underlying similarity between all of them. There's always this playfulness, this determination, this fiery energy that comes through in every single one of the readings for each of them. So at the end of the day, there's a joy that comes with, I'm just hearing like there's a joy that comes before him. There's a joy that comes before him when it comes to being honest and upfront with people. It's so refreshing to be honest and upfront with people. That is what really makes, and it really makes a relationship grow, when you're actually being honest with yourself and then honest with other people. And I feel like that's what's coming through here. Justice. And I'm hearing it's undeniable, the justice between them. Like you could see how things have worked out for them respectively and how it works out between them. I'm not getting anything negative whatsoever. Okay. I'm hearing sweetening the pot. I'm not sweetening the pot either. I don't know if someone says that. Like as far as like, she's sweetening the pot, she's sweetening us, she's trying to get us to, no, it's not like that. It's actually truly, there's so much richness in this energy. The King of Coins is the King of Earth, King of Pentacles. That's the energy of just having a lot to give to somebody. And I'm seeing a lot to give in order to help someone have the steps necessary to move forward. I feel like the imagery is important to note. It's like helping each other a step of the way, every step of the way. So the energy between them is very rich, very lush is what I'm hearing, because I'm seeing the tree for the King of Pentacles on that solid back of the turtle. Something about slow and steady. They've had a slow and steady uphill. Not even uphill battle, but they've had a slow and steady incline up into stardom. And they wear it kind of like a necklace. It's like it's a sweet thing. There's like a healthy competition between them with the Five of Wands. They see their benefit, they're like, yeah, it's like two brothers. Have I ever told you guys about these two being like brother energies? I feel like in a reading I mentioned that. I'm just getting the brotherly vibe. Ace of Cups in reverse. I'm hearing missing one. They're missing one. And it could be one another, but it feels like there's something about one cup not being filled right now. They're content, but there's something about missing a cup. We have the Nine of Wands. That's about kind of holding yourself accountable, protecting yourself, because you're trying to keep things going and trying to persist and persevere through difficulties. So I feel like there's some unhappiness that maybe has befallen one of the two, and I feel like that's coming through this reading. But overall, between the two of them, they have a healthy competition, and it's like a brotherly vibe. I just want you guys to see that. We also have this that fell through. It's the King of Wands energy. That's usually a determination. That's also someone who's gotten from the ground up. So I feel like they both recognize that they've both worked really hard for where they are in life. This was not handed to them. This was something that they actually had to walk through and actually elevate. They had to choose to elevate, and I feel like they respect each other greatly for that. We have at the bottom of the deck the Four of Swords. That's like a peace that comes upon you when you let go. I feel like there's like a peace about these two. And I feel like they always are surveying and looking for other opportunities respectively. Like even if they're not around each other, they're looking at what they can see or plan for in the future. They're always moving towards what's emotionally fulfilling. So they have that in common a lot. So let's look at their past energies. What was it like for them in the past? Because they may have a story where it wasn't quite as great in the beginning and then it got better, you know? The Moon. So they were very mysterious with each other. They didn't really understand each other. They didn't really know a lot, and that's understandable. You just meet someone when you're put into a group, right? I believe they all auditioned for a show, and then I remembered Simon put them together, if I'm correct. Simon Cowell. So they just didn't know each other well at all. There was this essence of mystery about them. Mystery. Anything else, Spirit? All right, we have the Hanged Man, feeling like they had to wait in deliberation to understand each other. They also had to quiet their mind, because I feel like they were really anxious and they didn't really know how to see the other party right away. Something significant about this year is coming to pass. There's something that's going to happen this year for specifically Niall and Louis, and I see the Three of Cups. So I don't know if they're going to like join up or link up this year, but this year is significant for both of them. I saw 2024 on my clock, and I feel like that's supposed to even indicate the month. So I'll look into the month with you guys. It might be September. September of this year is significant. All right. I'll take note of that, but let's keep going. So the Hanged Man, I noticed the feet of this individual is really red. Typically, I would expect their head to be red. It may just be red because they're holding on to that branch, but it's interesting how it's kind of interesting. I'm getting an imagery that's like of a time thing, like the sand's running out. I feel like they had so much time, so they felt like they had time to deliberate, time to understand each other. Somehow I got that out of that picture, so that's just for them. They feel like they have a lot of time, or they felt in the past when they first met each other that they had a lot of time. They had a lot of time and they didn't feel like they had to rush this. They didn't have to know each other. They didn't have to understand each other. They just had to like kind of watch each other to kind of see what it was like, what they were like. Two of Cups though, they partnered really quickly. I feel like they felt like, wow, this person is actually pretty cool, and I feel like I understand them. So they might have felt like they had to kind of wait and see how life would go with their career and everything else. I feel like that's important to note. Why is the Two of Cups here? We also have the World. Yeah. I'm hearing like they were like by the hip. Like they were very like they had to be close, or they had to go through transitions, major transitions together. And they resonated with those transitions with the Ace of Swords. They had clarity. I feel like they both encountered the same need for healing. There's some healing that occurred between the two of them. Certain wounds that the two of them understand better than the others. They dealt with it. The Star. They also approached stardom. They went through a huge transition with stardom. We have the Three of Coins. So that's that friendship, collaboration energy between these two. Yeah. They were fast friends. I feel like they were protective of each other as well. I feel like they had a lot of love and also a lot of determination together. I'm just getting that protective energy between these two. What's their current energy? Their current energy is the High Priestess, very intuitive, very aware and acute senses with regards to their path. This feels more individual, but look at that. The Three of Cups came through to tell us now it's actually just both of them. They're just mutually, it feels like they're celebrating. They're also focused on enjoying life more. So they're trying to be more intuitive about the people in their path, about their friendships. So right now they're just being intuitive about their friendships primarily. Between the two of them, I feel like they know that their friendship is something deeper, and that even if they're not seeing each other, there's a sense of them having a connection to each other. And I feel this sense of there's something else to talk about here. There's something else here. Why is the Three of Cups coming up so many times for these two, Spirit? Okay, why is the Three of Cups coming up so many times for Louis and Niall? Why is this coming up so many times? Wow, stubbornness, mirror reflection, and freedom. Guys, these two are really stubborn. They have like a stubbornness, this childlike energy between them. Mirror reflection, they're mirroring each other. The number 9 is significant. And freedom, number 10, when you reduce 7 and 3. So they feel really free, really expansive, and I feel like they feel free together. They went through huge mental transformation together in 94. Wow, so that's why they're very close in the spiritual realm, because they've been together before. They've been around each other before. Their energies are very linked. And they know that. They know that. That's already like, that's something that's already written in stone is what I'm hearing, the Empress. The feminine energy is coming through. They might have been friends in a past life as women. That's coming through as well. Because all of these cards are pointing to women here. Okay. Yeah, definitely. They were priestesses, or they were someone that like was fighting either demonic energies, the devil energies. Were also independent. Wow. So I'm gonna charge my camera and I'll be right back. Let's see if it lets me. Okay. Alright, let's see if it'll let me continue. If it doesn't, I'll be back. What's their current energy? So current energy was the High Priestess and the Three of Cups, and we found out that they have a stubbornness, a way of mirroring each other, and a sense of freedom between the two of them, which is really beautiful. Let's keep going. We also have Judgment, speaking their truth. I feel like, oh, they're going to talk about some lies that were told between the two of them. Okay, King of Swords, sideways. And the Eight of Cups. Yeah, there's something emotionally unfulfilling that they're experiencing, and that's why we had that Ace of Cups in reverse. There's some tense, something that was not true, that was said, or something that needs to be addressed and reconciled between the two of them. Some like either words that were said that were very like stubborn with the Strength card, and we also had Stubbornness come out. So they might have said something in a state of stubbornness that needs to be addressed between the two of them. They need to clarify it. They need to take a hold of destiny with the Wheel of Fortune, and we hear that the train going by. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. They need to take a hold of their desire to get clarity and actually talk about this. So what is this Seven of Swords here for? Yeah, Queen of Cups. About Louis' mom. There's this energy of them needing to talk about something with regards to something that happened. We also have the Two of Coins, finding balance, recalibrating. And also, wow, with his child or with his mom. It's definitely about finding joy and finding balance after something. He feels like he needs to talk about that, or needs to address it, or needs to help him assess his strength. Louis' strength. And there's something about the Wheel of Fortune. You know when the Wheel of Fortune is forcefully turned, it's like when someone takes the wheel and takes control of something, takes control of their life, their decisions. There's something about something happening in an untimely way. Why is the Wheel of Fortune here? Three of Swords. So pain happening out of nowhere. And then the Page of Cups. And Ten of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Someone being taken away really quickly. So they're talking about Louis' mom, and about talking about his feelings of like indecisiveness, of pain, of feeling stuck in his head, of wanting to assess some aspect of his childhood, assess some pain or something revolving around him as a child, or of losing someone. Six of Swords, Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Coins is moving out of a lot of worry, intense situations. So I feel like Niall wants to give him some like words or talk to him about something. And I don't know if he had the opportunity to talk about something with him concerning his mom. I don't know if they had an opportunity to talk as much when it happened, or something happened. Seven of Wands. I don't know. He wants to defend him in some way. He wants to fight for this. He wants to... I almost feel like he wants to protect Louis in some way, and that's coming through. So maybe he needs to say something that wasn't said yet, residually, that had to do with his mom. He wants to talk about that and kind of right things again, or at least take a hold of destiny, take a hold of a situation, and kind of like express his emotions or feelings, because he really, really loves, he has a lot of love for Louis. He has a lot of love for him, and that's coming through with the King of Cups constantly. Sideways, King of Cups means he's always like just has a heart for him, loves him dearly. Okay. Yeah. He just feels a sense of pain about this. She's coming through, the mom, Louis' mom is coming through as every queen in this deck. Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. We had the Queen, the Empress come through. Every energy that's feminine, every energy that's strong, every energy that is like practical or logical, strategic, or like mentally acute is coming through, and abundant. So that's coming through. Okay. So I don't know much about any of the members' families. So I'm just going to keep going. So that's coming through. Someone wants to communicate with them. Anything, Niall wants to communicate something with regards to either women or a pregnancy, for instance, if he's going through something, or wanting to make sure he's okay with his family, like Louis' child and all of that, that's coming through. But it's all about like the feminine energy and about like mothers as well. 6 of Pentacles, that's like about balancing things out. That's about seeing someone, giving someone a gift as well. That's about someone who's not expecting a gift, giving them something monetarily to help. This could be for even like someone, someone's cause, like helping a cause, or helping someone with comforting words with regards to something that was lost or something that was painful to experience. And it could be with regards to his mom. We have the Tower, the Ace of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles. Definitely about family. An opportunity or something with regards to family. He wants to just talk to the family, or he wants to be around Louis' family, Niall. Something like that is coming through. And we also have the 8 of Coins, but he's working so hard. So he's focused on his work really a lot right now. And he's trying to prevent a Tower from coming. He wants to crown or come in with an opportunity or some kind of offer to Louis. Okay, that's current energies. Let's keep going. Let's go into, see what else comes through, and let's go into their trajectory. What is the trajectory for Niall? Ooh. Niall and Louis, Spirit team. A lot of love between these two though. If you guys are liking this video, please like, share, and comment on what resonates for you, what you'd like to share, anything like that. That would really, really help this channel grow, okay? So other people can see this. I feel like this is coming through the Emperor. Something about the Emperor and Empress. So I don't know if this is about, I'm hearing vilify, so this could be about a father figure. This can also just be their trajectory, which is in regards to controlling their situation. It also could be about Louis and about the contentedness of being a father and raising his child. So there's a trajectory of continuing to focus on his Emperor energy, on controlling, or at least having control and authority over his own life, of being able to help people in his charge or people in his life, having this gratitude, this contentedness with life, and enjoying life to the fullest. That's coming through for them, for their trajectory, both of them, Niall and Louis. We have the Tower coming through. You're gonna have a lot of changes, you two. You guys are gonna be going through like big transitions, upheavals. It might feel a bit tense. You might be going through a big move, big changes with your career path. We have the Page of Pentacles, so yeah, definitely with your career path, there might be a call that you have to make with regards to your either trying something new, like an alternative route for something for your work. Something about your mental space. Someone may be going into therapy as well, or trying to initiate going into therapy and talking to someone, because I see the King of Swords. And I think of someone in like a field where they use their voice to communicate primarily. There might be some worry about starting that up. So focusing on just your happiness, you two, and focusing on what you need, like as far as conveying what you need to create, like of having a plan for something and then executing it, focusing on being a student and constantly learning something new and being okay with that. Not worrying too much about the output, but just kind of going step by step. There's success coming through for them regardless. Of course you have to put in the work, but it's meant to be done. The Knight of Wands. They're going to be very fast, a little hasty, but determined to get things done. And I feel like the wheel is in their favor. The wheel is turning in their favor. They have balance coming in. Temperance. Okay. So they have a lot of great things coming their way. I feel like they're going to meet again, and there might be some like project or something really childlike. Maybe they will travel and see each other while they're traveling. But there's something about like transitioning a lot with the Tower, a lot, and they're not going to expect some of the big transitions that are coming for them. It's going to be really good because I feel like they're going to be helping people. They help others with their music, but I feel like they're going to be doing something more like humanitarian in some capacity to help people with their, like a mission of some sort. Might even be in Haiti, or might even be like something that happens elsewhere, you know. That's something about Haiti is coming through. I might do a reading on them, on the island of Haiti. I feel like something's happening, transitioning for them. Okay. So let's get into, let's get into specifics, okay? We got into their past, their current energies, and their trajectory. Let's get into how they feel a little bit more. How does Louis feel about Niall? I'm listening out for my child so that I take care of things here. So we have the Empress. We always get the Emperor and Empress. These two are, like, this group is something else. They have a lot of divine masculines, if not all of them, in their group. Okay. Alright, let's keep going. The Empress is for how Louis sees Niall. Very abundant, promising, has a bright future. We also have the Four of Swords. He feels like he's a pretty chill guy. He's pretty calm, peaceful. He doesn't make a lot of he doesn't make a ruckus or make problems. He's also like very good at finding opportunities, okay? And he's also like, he doesn't talk too much. He says just enough. He doesn't do too much. We also have the Moon. He's a little mysterious because he doesn't talk too much, I feel like. Sometimes people can kind of like show you all their cards. I feel like he doesn't, but he also still is communicative. He's not like, it's not like a harsh way of communicating, but he just doesn't have to say a lot. He's good at communicating quickly. We have the King of Swords, very good communicator. Don't get me wrong, guys. They want me to reiterate that he's a good communicator. It's not like he doesn't talk a lot. It's just more so that he's very thoughtful about what he says, very precise. Or he says the same things, like he's very kind of predictable a bit with what he says. That's coming through. He's not like, I don't know, what should I do, or indecisive. So he may not have a lot of Libra placements. That's one shadow attribute, is kind of indecisiveness or being split. And maybe Leo, I said Leo, someone's a Leo, but there's a Leo coming through. But I feel like Louis maybe has some more air placements than him. We have the Seven of Wands. He's good at standing up and fighting for something, fighting for a cause. I feel like Niall, so Louis feels like Niall's been through a lot as well. I feel like he hasn't had his true come up, in the sense of, when I say come up, I mean it differently, because some people say that's when you level up in some way. I'm talking about seeing just the complete joy, experiencing life and seeing every single thing come together at once. I feel like he has yet to experience truly what's going to happen for him, which is the Four of Wands. It's coming to him. He's gonna have either a really great relationship or marriage, if he doesn't already, or there's something about just having a reunion of some sort, or just having a huge celebration, having everything fall into alignment for him. This can also be about a divine counterpart coming into meeting that person. So it's something about that coming to him. And Louis is his higher self is kind of aware of that. And there's something about there being a long-term, them having some interaction past lives. This is not like this life, where they've had really strong difficulties. There's been a lot of difficulties between these two. So it seems like karmically, Niall is getting a lot of great things coming his way in this life, because he's been through crap in the other life. There's a specific one. And I feel like it's other ones as well, more than one. And he's moving into balance. So how does Niall feel towards Louis? Three of Cups. That's the energy of fun, play. He feels like he can have fun, he can play, he can be social. Social with Louis. He feels like he's like sunshine. He has a lot of joy in him, no matter what. A lot of joy. Louis carries this joy with him around. And I'm seeing something I've never seen before, which is like a snake wrapped around the sun. And I feel like Louis might have a snake totem, or he just has a lot of transformation happening in his life. He might be going through a Kundalini activation, might be going through like some understanding of his sexuality, like his spirituality mixed with his sacral chakra, like creativity is expanding for him. Something about the snake. Snakes are significant here. And then we have the Hierophant, someone who has a higher level, or has, I feel like he's gotten a lot of lessons down in regards to what he's been taught in life. He's had a lot of difficult lessons, difficult experiences, I should say. Some people do not like the word lessons here. But yeah, the Hierophant, hierarchy. He respects him a whole lot. Niall respects Louis a whole lot. Okay. What else, Spirit? Wow, the Hermit. It was going to come out, but it turned around. So there's some hidden knowledge. He feels like Louis has some hidden knowledge, or he doesn't let people in on just how deep his knowledge is with regards to the spiritual things. Maybe he's not really tapped into it as deeply yet, but I still feel like he's aware. Niall is aware of Louis' capability of getting really deep. Really deep, especially when it comes to difficulties in his life. With partners or loss of some kind with people. Okay. Yeah. They're a good team. Just getting that Five of Wands energy, working together. And people sometimes look at Five of Wands as war or like conflict, but it's really like differing ideals, or differing, maybe not ideals, differing perspectives, differing ways of addressing the world. But it doesn't have to be like a conflict. I feel like they work together well. So I'm going to just move and transition into the archetypes and then end it there. I feel like this reading has gone on for quite some time and I am beat. I need to touch base with other readings as well. So I hope you guys are enjoying this, okay? And this energy exchange is not, it's not for everyone, okay? So I don't do this often. I've never done this like this. All right. It's a lot. So let's keep going. What are the archetypes that we can see between these two here? What are Louis' archetypes with regards to Niall, Spirit team? We have the vampire archetype. Making yourself aware of people that are trying to drain you, okay? So he's very aware, and it feels like what they're saying here. I almost feel like because it came out in reverse first, it feels like Louis aware that he used to complain or have some sense of codependency with Niall in the past. And he is aware of that now. So they want us to know that. He might have felt like he was kind of like clinging on to Niall a bit for his survival, in the sense of like going through a lot of torment or difficulties emotionally. But he does see that he's a student with Niall. He feels like he can learn things from him. He has a humility and openness to knowledge with him. Anything else? We also have that I feel like Niall helped him release what was destructive in his life as well. Really powerful. But we also have this playfulness that comes through, transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. It's almost like that prankster type energy, practical joker. But then he also had the advocate, someone who was able to put his compassion into action. He felt compassionate with Niall, felt like he was compassionate as well. So they were very very equally, they were very balanced in a sense, where I feel like he learned lessons through Niall and vice versa. You don't have to learn these lessons, you know. With Niall, he feels like Louis is the priest. He has some like God energy. Like he goes through so many difficulties, and yet he's so perseverant and resilient. I've said this so many times. You guys are probably used to this. I just get that energy from him. So let me know if you resonate with that. We have freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. So he feels like Niall feels like Louis has a great way of freeing people and says something that frees people or makes them feel like they're understood. And if they have a destructive impulse like drinking or something along those lines that's really messing them up, sometimes Louis will just say one thing and it doesn't have to be that complicated, and it really affects them or helps them. We also have the mediator. Niall is really good at mediating things between the two of them. He tends to have respect for Louis' side of the argument and also for his own. He's also a great person to empower his friends, Niall. He also has this charm about him as well, and potential for power. He knows a lot of things about people. He knows he could use them, but he doesn't. I feel like he tries to help people be empowered by using the knowledge he has of another person. So if he knows something about you, he knows it's a weakness, he tries to tell you how you can overcome it or address it. He doesn't try to use it against you. He could do that, totally. Engineer is here as well, and he tries to find solutions to common issues or issues that maybe have to do with impulses, addictive patterns in life, past life trauma or past trauma as a child that's coming through, maybe talking about that individually, and also enjoying life but not enjoying it to the point where you abuse what you have. Something about that is coming through. Well, that is where I'll end it. I feel like they both love animals too. For some reason that's coming through. Communication with nature spirits is what they have in common. So that is where I'm going to leave you guys with. I feel like Niall was the shorter one, but I feel like it was more concise in the sense that there was not much information compared to the other three. They got a lot of information. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I will see you guys very shortly with more readings to come. But this is the end of the One Direction saga. We are over. We are done with this for now, unless something happens. But my spirit team and we're going to be closing this up, and we hope you enjoyed it. This is going to last for quite some time, so we'll touch base with whatever else is out there. There's more to come elsewhere for us. So stay tuned, and I will see you soon. Bye.